Jessica Groves gets emotional during cross-examination.
I've admitted to my guilt.
How did you?
And I have to live without my children. I'm done talking to you.
You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand.
This should be good. Good evening, everybody. True Crime Metrics here. If it's not crack, it's smack. If it's not smack, it's meth. And if it's not meth, it's death. We've got two more shitbag, crackhead, bucking parents here. Trigger warning, dead baby, but we don't pay any attention to that. I actually don't even know the details. That's not why we're here. We're here to witness one of the possibly greatest public takedowns. You gotta wonder, I've been watching this trial on repeat for about 2 weeks. And I mean, why did they bother? Nothing could have been more conclusive than their shameful guilt, right? Nothing. But I'm glad they went through with it, because it's just turned out, it's like the rapture. It's like the gates of hell open and everyone is just in there. The one thing that I actually think it's done, where so many other trials fail, is actually just through sheer brutality and relentless prosecution, actually get through to this pair of brainless fuckheads how just horrible people that they are. I mean, you can feel them just shrinking in the room going, oh, look, and everyone is looking at me and can see me and how bad I am. I mean, it's so often we see a guilty verdict. I would just like to say that I maintain my innocence. Okay. Well, they don't really do that. There's no time for that. The judge is pretty quiet, but he just doesn't care. Again, he's like the gates of hell open. But, yeah, so it's a case of drugs and neglect and abuse. Yeah. Just drug frenzy, abuse, neglect, abuse, death. Pretty sad state of affairs, but it does seem to be that Jessica Groves, the wife, was the main perpetrator of the case. Let's get an image up here. We need an image. But, Daniel Groves, when he's on the stand, it's just got all of these lines like, I recall the bruising, but not the swelling. That's the other thing. They both testify in their own defense. Of course, they've got independent legal counsel. Although there does seem to be some kind of interesting, what is the word? They're working together. Because sometimes you'll see a case with two defendants where they're each blaming the other one. It seems that there was a bit of a deal to say, listen, we'll try and do something for Jessica, but she's getting the max. Now, there's just a chance if we play it maybe a little bit right, we'll be able to keep Daniel out of jail for, not for the first 30 years, but maybe after then he'll be able to get out, get a job, and send you some money for your digital stamps and your digital noodles and your digital tuna pouches. Yeah. Another thing, this case has posed a question to me, and I don't know if we're going to get an answer. And the question is, by what method of concealment did Daniel Groves smuggle urine into the test facility to, make his deposits for clean piss? that was stolen clean piss. The prosecutor asked some interesting questions. What was it? I wrote something down. He said, and you kept a bottle of urine, right? Small bottle, right? Easy to hide, easy to keep warm. And there was just this wry little smile on his face when he said, easier to keep warm. And it got me thinking, what did that mean? Because Daniel Groves didn't seem to know. Maybe he knew all too well. I have my suspicions. But there was just this wry smile when he said, and that, you had a buddy, didn't you? And he taught you how to do it and where to put it, And I thought, did he go in? Because when you go into the test facility to give you clean piss, they're going to watch you piss, but they watch you at the urinal, right? And sometimes there's even a little courtesy wall thing, but essentially you have to stand there with your dick out and take a piss. So difficult to conceal a bottle of piss, obviously, but if you had a small bottle and inserted that small bottle of piss into your rectal chamber, you might be able to stand at a urinal and instead of taking your dick out, just flip the cap off the small warm bottle that's inserted into your rectal chamber and then, look like you're just having a piss, right? I thought it was genius. And it would keep it warm because, what is it, 37.5 degrees Celsius? What's that in Fahrenheit? I don't know. I think it's about... All right, all you medical people in the United States, tell me what the core temperature of the human body is in Fahrenheit. What would it be? Like 98 degrees. Don't trust me on that. Yeah, but it would keep it warm. So I don't know how many birds that is with one kidney stone. But, done pretty well. What else did I say? I got a few more notes here. But the other thing about this case is that it's not all doom and gloom. There's some real people that come in. There's the cops, there's the foster mother, because this poor baby... Hang on, what was this? The prosecutor says to Daniel Groves, you remember her threatening the child, right? And Daniel Groves says, not a direct threat. We're talking about a 4-month-old baby here, right? What was it, a threatening letter? An angry Facebook post? What? Not a direct threat. You said she hit the baby in the head 4 times. Correct? And Daniel Grove says, yes, but not to the extent to cause a fracture. So there's this real detachment because Daniel Groves has gone in here with the sole purpose of saying, it wasn't me, I didn't cause the death. I only helped with the cleanup, wrapping it in it's like 7 layers of plastic wrapped in bricks, 2 milk crates chained together with a heavy bike chain and put in a fucking 40-foot well. That's another thing. We got great firefighters coming that had to recover that. When you saw your wife shake that baby, did you call social services? Did you call the police? Daniel Rashbaum. Did you run to the neighbor's house and say, hey, get my wife out of there? Oh, which sounds like a bit of a chore after you have a look at Jessica Groves, who is not a nice person. She might be the worst person ever that we've covered on this channel. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess where are we going to start? Opening statements? There's a couple of good interrogations as well. There's a bunch. Oh, that's the other thing, that this is the first case that we've covered where the defendants were arrested by robot. Actually, one of them was arrested by robot because they were holed up in the house. They weren't coming out. The police surrounded the trailer. Loudspeakers, everything. And then eventually Jessica Groves came out, belligerent, yelling at the cops. What the fuck do you want? We've got no baby. We've got no baby. Social services came and got that baby. You know, she's going nuts. And then Daniel Groves is still hiding out inside. So they don't know if he's in there with a gun or a bomb or what, right? So they send in a robot. Robot goes in, finds Daniel Groves, spark out on the kitchen floor, dope sick, and passing wind, which actually tricked the robot into thinking that he had released a biological weapon. You know, I always wonder about that as well. If you're arrested by robot, how do they verify their identification? Do they carry robot badges? I swim for the police and computers. I've been laughing about that all day. Oh, check out our latest picture of from our digital wizard. Our digital wizard in the north. She's made me a judge. How do I get it? Really should have had some visuals on. I'm so sorry. I just want to show you the digital wizard. So, so she's got rid of Spacey Dove, which is probably a good thing because she would have just looked like a defendant. And she's made me a judge. Brilliant. But the more AI that gets put on this, the less my face looks like me. That's not me. It's so weird. But thank you, Victoria Girl, Lady in the North, with all of the images. Excellent. Okay, let's do some... what do we say? Opening statement, or just jump straight into cross-examinations? There's a good interrogation as well. Good recovery. There's a bunch of stuff. Great trial. I don't think I would have been able to live without it for the last 2 weeks. It's kept me going. We hope it keeps you going live on Metrics all night long. Thank you. Support the channel on buymeacoffee.com/TrueCrimeMetrics or PayPal. Link in the description. Or just become a member because memberships are fantastic.
The following program may contain graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, I don't know if we need to watch Court TV. Let's go to an opening statement. That'll be nice. Just the nice, easy, like with the jury. And by the way, this is long haul, real ass content, okay? We take our time. We take all night long. We stay. We build. I had it a minute ago. Give me a sec. Playlist. Welcome everybody in the chat. DJ Miller, how you doing? Thank you for that super sticker. Check it out. Who's this? Retro AI. Hello, friends. I am currently with some other YouTube friends I might have to be on replay crew cheers from Canada. Oh. I see.
We are back on the record, State of Ohio versus Daniel A. Groves and State of Ohio versus Jessica Groves, case number 19 CR 586 A and B. Counsel, the parties, and the jury are back in the courtroom. The jury was selected yesterday. At this time, I believe we are ready to begin with opening statements in this matter. This time, counsel for the parties may have an opening statement. Opening statements of counsel are concise and orderly descriptions of each side's claims and defenses and the evidence counsel expects to produce in support of those claims and defenses. They are not evidence. Each side will address you once during opening statements, with the state going first. Is the state ready to proceed with opening statements?
We are, Your Honor.
By the way, we are in Ohio today, and southern Ohio. And I would like everybody to pay attention to the head of every male. Head shape, hairline, general, layout, cranium layout, right? Because they're all exactly the same. And it got me thinking about Ohio. They do have distinctive heads, at least the males, right? What is that?
Defense ready, Ms. Scott?
We are ready, thank you.
Mr. Stratton?
Yes, sir.
The state may address the jury.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court, opposing counsel, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good morning.
Oh, check it out. It's 98. 98.6. What did I say? I said 98, right? Fucking A. He's good at this. He's getting good at this.
Again, my name is Julie Cook Hutchinson, and I, along with prosecuting attorney Shane Tiemann, represent the state of Ohio. Before we discuss what it is that the state must prove and what we believe the evidence will be, I too want to thank you for your service. The service that you are about to complete here on behalf of your community is very vital to our American justice system. And each of us understand that each of you have other obligations you are putting aside to be here with us this week. So thank you. I also want to apologize to you in advance. The case you're about to hear is a difficult case. You're going to see, hear, and learn things that you cannot unsee, unhear, or unlearn. And for that, I'm sorry. Having said that, let's discuss what the charges are in this case.
By see and hear and see things that they can't unlearn, I think she might be referring to the fact that this courtroom allows Arby's drink cups to be brought into the gallery and placed on the armrests of the pews. I mean, does that really, I just think that it might detract from the credibility of the Justice Department, I mean, really? Some good quality movie theaters would throw you out for doing that, right? Get that fucking Arby's cup out of here. You're making the place look bad.
The defendants, Daniel and Jessica Groves, are charged with 11 felony charges. His Honor, Judge Kuhn will instruct you on the rules that you are to follow throughout this trial. If something I say differs from what something he says, you are to follow His Honor's instructions. Keep in mind that some of the terminology we use in everyday language.
Those some of the words
may differ
uttered
from
outside
legal
that courtroom in
definitions.
New York in the Harvey Weinstein
Again,
case, but
His Honor,
opening
Judge
statements
Kuhn
now in the
will
Daniel
instruct
and
you as
Jessica
to the
Groves
legal
case in
definitions
Ohio.
that
Let's
apply
listen
in this
live.
case. You heard in voir dire the phrase being in cahoots with someone. And you also heard in Ohio that the legal term for that is complicity. His Honor may instruct you that the defendant or defendants can...
And I love how they're kind of just sitting on full display the whole way through as well. I mean, it really is just like, we're going to put you up here. It's like being taken to, what do you call it, Tower Hill, to be beheaded. I mean, it really does have this public execution feel. But before we get to that, they're going to fucking read it to you.
Can be found guilty of the offense charged as a principal offender, in other words, the person who committed that crime, but also can be found guilty of that principal offense in complicity. In other words,
see the guy in the striped shirt there? That's an Ohio head past the age of 60. Okay, after 60 they go like that, kind of a bit puffy, and yeah, but most Ohio heads that we're going to see throughout this trial are under the age of 60, so that's a one-off right there, but just capture it. Screenshot if you want. I'll hold it up for another 3, 2, 1.
they don't have to be the person who actually committed the crime, but complicit to that person or in cahoots with that person. You may be further instructed that complicity.
I want to make cahoots a valid legal term. What's all this complicity? Just cahoots. Everybody knows what that. No one needs it explained.
Means aided or abetted. Sorry about that. Technology is great when it works. And you may also be instructed that aiding and abetting includes supporting, assisting, cooperating with, advising, inciting another to commit a crime. Complicity also includes conspiring with another person to commit a crime. State of Ohio versus Daniel Groves and State of Ohio versus Jessica Groves charges each defendant with the following felony charges.
It's quite the list.
Aggravated murder.
That's a big one.
Requires the state of Ohio to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendants did or were complicit to purposely causing the death of baby Dylan, who was under 13 years of age at the time of the offense. Defendants are charged in count 2 with murder.
Hello to all our members. Retro AI, Stacy T, and moderators, Christina Michelle, hello.
Which requires the state of Ohio to prove that the defendants did or were complicit to knowingly causing the death of baby Dylan as a proximate result of committing or attempting to commit a felony offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree. In count 3, the defendants are charged with kidnapping. Kidnapping requires the state of Ohio to prove that the defendants did or were complicit to, by force, threat, or deception, or in the case of a victim under 13 by any means, remove baby Dylan from the place where he was found or restrain his liberty for the purpose of hindering, impeding, or obstructing a function of the government. Count 4, child endangering. Requires the...
Look at this. Trial Watchers Guild says, shenanigans, complicit retro. Do you ever do that thing where you have too much time to spend in the kitchen, so you try and make a sentence out of whatever fridge magnet letters are on the fridge, and the only thing that you can make is the sentence, shenanigans, complicit retro. What's another great one? You know what I mean? A random sentence that would is passable for making sense, but would never be used. This is one of those sentences. Shenanigans, complicit retro.
State of Ohio to prove that the defendants did or were complicit to, as a parent, guardian, custodian, person having custody or control or in loco parentis of a child under the age of 18 create a substantial risk of health or safety to baby Dylan by violating a duty of care, protection, or support, and that violation resulted in serious physical harm. Count 5, the defendants are charged with tampering with evidence.
I know, right, Christina? This prosecutor, she'd make fucking Juan Martinez cry into his cornflakes. I mean, she trained Sarah Dugan to be a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all the hallmarks. They were there.
And that requires the state of Ohio to prove that the defendants did or were complicit in knowing that an official proceeding or investigation was in progress or was about to be or likely to be instituted, alter, destroy, conceal, or remove any record, document, or thing with purpose to impair its value or availability as evidence in such investigation. Count 6 charges the defendants with interference with custody and requires the state of Ohio.
I know, she's on fire, but she's also ice cold.
To prove that the defendants did or were complicit to, knowing that he or she had no privilege to do so, or being reckless in that regard, entice, keep, or harbor baby Dylan from a parent, guardian, or custodian of a child under the age of 18, and that baby Dylan suffered serious physical harm as a result of that violation. Count 7, gross abuse of a corpse, requires the state of Ohio to prove that the defendant did or was complicit to treating baby Dylan's body in a way that would outrage reasonable community sensibilities.
What, like wrapping him in a milk crate and throwing him down a well? Yeah, that'll do it.
The remaining counts 8.
And you know what they said? Yeah, we did that so that we could preserve the body, so we could come back later, pick it up, and give him a proper burial on a little hill overlooking a duck pond. He loved ducks. He never saw a duck in real life, you know, because he spent most of the time, you know, trying to unravel himself from a dream catcher that beat him up. He got beat up by a dream catcher, okay? That's the real criminal.
9, 10, and 11 are counts of felonious assault, and they require the state of Ohio to prove that the defendants did or were complicit to knowingly causing serious physical harm to baby Dylan. Having heard the charges you are to consider, let's turn to the evidence and testimony that the state of Ohio believes will be presented in the coming week. The evidence will be that on January 10th, 2019, in the early morning hours, the defendants Daniel Groves and Jessica Groves arrived by self-transport at the emergency department of Southern.
It was self-defense. He was a thug.
Ohio Medical Center here in Scioto County, Ohio. Several hospital employees will testify here. They will testify that for Jessica, labor was nearly complete upon arrival, as she was dilated 9.5 out of 10 centimeters.
How wasted do you need to be late for your own delivery? Labor was almost complete as she got to the hospital. I mean, you know, how long was that taxi ride?
They will testify that Jessica Groves refused to answer any questions and that a urine sample had to be taken by straight catheter. The testimony will be that...
What does that mean, straight catheter? What does that mean? I understand what a catheter is, but what is a straight catheter? Because I would have imagined them to be kind of, curled at the end.
The hospital staff administered no pain medications to Jessica Groves for several reasons. There were no medical records of prenatal care. Jessica appeared to be under the influence but refused to answer any questions about what substances she may have taken. And not giving medications enabled the staff at the hospital to determine what had been ingested pre-admission so that they could care for baby Dylan once he was born. It will be claimed that Jessica, for some period, lengthy period, had no prenatal care because she did not know she was pregnant. However, the evidence will show that she's had a prior pregnancy and that she was once a licensed LPN. Baby Dylan was delivered within approximately 30 minutes, and the testimony will be that that delivery was uneventful. No complications in that delivery. Not long after birth, baby Dylan was taken to the nursery and put on oxygen because he was born early and needed support. The testimony will be that neither parent accompanied that baby to the nursery.
What do you think about the blue eyeshadow on the it's like Jamie Lee Curtis in My Girl. You remember? When she's putting makeup on the kid? A woman could never have enough blue eyeshadow, and then just loads it right up. I always thought that was too much back then. Even back then.
At some point, urine was also collected from baby Dylan for drug screening purposes. And both Jessica Groves and baby Dylan had positive drug screens there at the hospital. Within 12 hours, baby Dylan begins to exhibit symptoms of drug withdrawal. As a result of that, the hospital then notified Scioto County Children's Services, and baby Dylan was kept in the nursery for 5 days, awaiting a discharge plan that the hospital...
Can you imagine having drug withdrawal without the high? I mean, that'd be like repaying debt without ever borrowing money. Right? That'd be like, oh man, how much do you owe? Oh, 100 grand. But wait a minute. It's like, I didn't get anything for that. It's just debt. That's what they did to the boy.
And Children's Services could agree was safe. Initially, Children's Services believed that Daniel Groves was employed with Rural King and that he could submit to a clean urine.
Rural King? What does that mean? Is he lawn mowing? Is he a lawnmower?
Test. A safety plan was...
I wouldn't trust him anywhere near my yard. or heavy machinery.
...was discussed, wherein baby Dylan would be...
Fucking guy can't walk in a straight line. You think I'm going to trust him with a rotating blade?
...placed with Daniel Groves, that Jessica Groves would not live in the home, and that her contact with the children in the home would be supervised by Daniel Groves. Children's Services was going to require...
No, that's not good enough. You're going to make him the supervisor of her? That's how we got into this mess in the first place. Okay, court system, sanction, legislate, fucking change it.
...require Jessica to complete a drug assessment and to undergo treatment and be compliant with that treatment. There was to be weekly contact between baby Dylan and Children's Services. However, the hospital would not agree to discharge baby Dylan under that safety plan. Prior to the release of baby Dylan from the hospital, his umbilical cord was sent off for testing, and the results were returned. Baby Dylan's U-cord, or umbilical...
So what's that? Positives for amphetamines? something. Methamphetamine. Fentanyl. Great. Fentanyl, more fentanyl. Morphine and hydromorphine. But negative on cocaine, oxys, and a few others that I can't really read.
Report showed positive for methamphetamine, amphetamine, fentanyl, and opiates, including morphine. On January 15th, 2019, Andrea Bowling became baby Dylan's foster mother as she picked him up from the hospital. On January 16th, 2019, Scioto County Children's Services awarded emergency custody of baby Dylan to Children's Services. During the time that foster mother Andrea Bowling had baby Dylan, he was seen twice by a pediatrician named Dr. Ali. His medical records indicate, and Dr. Ali will testify, that he was free from injury and progressing well, with the exception of some drug withdrawals. Baby Dylan lived with Andrea until January 28th, 2019, when Children's Services decided to place the baby back with Daniel Groves under circumstances similar to what.
That was a bad move. That was a bad move. Is Andrea the foster mother that's like, you know, the most golden ray of sunshine angel woman? You know what she's like? She's like Miss Honey, you know, Matilda's teacher.
What was previously discussed. Evidence will show that Jessica was assessed by Mahajan Therapeutics for drug treatment on January 18th, 2019, and that she was compliant with treatment for less than 3 weeks. The defendants were compliant once the baby was placed back with them with pediatrician appointments for less than 1 month. However, from those 2 appointments, the evidence will show that baby Dylan again was injury-free and progressing well. The defendants also were not compliant with Children's Services. Evidence will show that between February 4th and February 25th, Children's Services was making multiple attempts to contact this family, to no avail. Children's Services even went to the school of the 14-year-old sibling to attempt to get a message to the parents. Finally, on February 25th, Children's Services was successful in making contact with the family at their residence at 2241 Mount Hope Road, Otway, Ohio, here in Scioto County. From that date, February 25th, to March 28th, again, the defendants were not compliant with Children's Services contact. On March 28th, Children's Services again made contact, successful contact, with the family at that Mount Hope address. Baby Dylan was wearing a long-sleeved onesie, and he did not appear to have any visible injuries. It was the last time baby Dylan was known to be alive. No calls for medical assistance for baby Dylan were ever made for that residence. That's going to be the evidence. All through April and May, Children's Services repeatedly tries to make contact. Children's Services eventually calls Rural King to attempt to make contact with Daniel Groves, and they're informed that Mr. Groves had not worked there since mid-2018. Deputies of the Scioto County Sheriff's Office attempted to make contact. Captain Murphy and Chief Miller from the Sheriff's Office attempt to make contact. They see the defendants on the roadway near their home and attempt to stop them, and a pursuit ensues, and the four-wheeler they are on flees off the roadway into the woods. Juvenile court sent an employee to make contact. Finally, the Sheriff's Office obtains a search warrant for that Mount Hope residence. And on June 10th, 2019, several members of the Scioto County Sheriff's Department, the Southern Ohio Drug Task Force, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol surround the residence on Mount Hope Road, demanding that Jessica and Daniel surrender. Within about 30 minutes, Jessica Groves appears at the front door, and the testimony will be that she's belligerent. Hours later, a robot is deployed inside the residence to locate Daniel
Here he is, Officer Robot. Show us your badge, buddy.
Groves, who is not coming out at the demands of law enforcement. Both were transported to the Scioto County Sheriff's Department.
Oh man, you know other people in the jail in years to come, because he's going to have plenty of time, isn't he? But in years to come, people will still be coming up to him saying, hey, are you the guy that was hiding in the house from the robot? And how dumb do you have to fucking be? You know, if the cops have surrounded your house, guns pointed at your front door, they're not going away. Okay? That's when you walk out. That's when you go, okay, I can either get shot or I can get arrested. But I'm not going to fucking hide in here from a robot like a little bitch. Okay? Have some pride.
For interrogation by Detective Conkle. You will hear that Jessica Groves maintains that Children's Services has come and taken her baby. Evidence will be that Daniel Groves is dope sick in there during that interview, rolling around in the floor. Evidence will also be that he tells several stories, starting with Children's Services came and took the baby. But eventually, Daniel Groves admits that baby Dylan is dead. On June 11th, 2019, Daniel agreed to take Detective Conkle to Dylan's body. Nothing was found. On June 12th, the evidence will be that these two defendants were placed in the room together and began whispering amongst each other. The things they're saying indicate to Detective Conkle that she's been misled about where this baby's body might be. After further interrogation, Daniel Groves again agrees to take Detective Conkle to baby Dylan's body. Eventually, Daniel Groves leaves the sheriff's office.
Yeah, he kept taking them to the wrong well. Again, like that has a shelf life, you know. Saying to the police, "Where's the baby?" The police say, "Where's the baby?" Oh, social services came and took the baby. You know, all right. Well, that might buy you an hour until they just, you know, make one call and say, "Hey, this is the police. Is that social services? Did you pick up a baby Dylan?" You know, few bruises. Seen a kid with any bruises? And they say no.
To a spring-fed well, 40-foot well, in the middle of a hayfield. Members of the local fire department respond to assist, and the fire department could not make it through in the truck, so they used a brush truck to get to that location. They attempted to pump water from the well. However, the pump was only successful in removing about 10 feet of the water. After that, they went back to the fire truck and they retrieved parts of an extraction kit. And with a gold metal hook, a strap, and some cord, they for 3 hours fished around in this water before they finally hooked what they thought might be the container that contained baby Dylan's body. It took several men to pull the container to the surface. Evidence will show that the container consisted of these two metal crates, or these two plastic milk crates, chained together, zip-tied, and wire-tied. It was weighted down with several rocks and a round metal object around Dylan's body. The container was loaded, undisturbed, for coroner's transport to the Montgomery County Coroner's Office. The coroner will testify that baby Dylan's death was the result of homicidal violence. Dr. Brown will testify that baby Dylan had 2 skull fractures, 2 rib fractures, upper arm fractures, lower arm fractures, and lower leg fractures. She will testify that some fractures showed signs of healing and others did not, and she'll explain to you what that means. The testimony will also be that baby Dylan again tested positive for methamphetamines and amphetamines. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, by the close of this case, I submit to you that you will have proof beyond a reasonable doubt that each of these defendants is guilty of each crime that they're charged with. And at that time, I will ask you to return a verdict of guilty as to each defendant and as to each count. Again, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson.
Hear from the man himself.
Stratton, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense rests.
Defendant Jessica Groves has rested their presentation of evidence. Ms. Scott, are you ready to proceed with your presentation?
I am, Your Honor.
Hey, it's Dylan like Dylan Thomas, Stacy. Respect the dead baby.
You may call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time I would call Daniel Groves to the stand.
If you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Please have a seat.
Daniel, could you please state your full name for the record?
Daniel Allen Groves, Sr.
Okay. And
Doesn't Jessica Groves look like the kind of woman that might sell wicker baskets that she makes? You know what I mean? That kind of like witch woman that you get in New England. Selling these fucking wicker baskets.
make sure you keep your voice up.
Okay.
You're married to Jessica Groves.
Shit, no one sells wicker baskets in the chat, do they? Someone's probably weaving one right now, listening to the show, just having a nice evening, making their basket, and I've ruined their life. I'm sorry. There is hope. Don't lose hope.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and talk about an incident that has happened in your life, just so we can go ahead and what we call get the elephant out of the room. You do have a misdemeanor of the first degree shoplifting theft charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And that incident, the date of that incident occurred on September the 15th of 2018. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Took place at Kroger.
That's correct.
And you actually were convicted of.
Okay, I know I know that on the face value that this defense attorney might look a little safe and, church, a little library church library. I work in the church library, okay, but I guarantee you, in bed, she would make you feel like you've never been born, right? You can just tell she's one of those surprises that's beyond kink, right? Whole new level.
Of that charge later on in January of 2019, correct?
Correct.
And you were placed on probation, or sometimes called community control for that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Dylan as in Dylan Thomas, not Dylan as in who spells it like that? Matt Dillon. It's not Matt Dillon. It's Dylan Thomas, okay? Respect the dead baby.
Yes, ma'am.
You did not get any jail time as a result of that charge?
I know it was suspended.
Okay. And that could be considered a crime of dishonesty, correct?
Yes, it could.
But is it your intention here today to tell the truth?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you the father of Daniel and Dylan Groves?
Yes, I am.
And where did you reside?
At 2241 Mount Hope Road, Otway, Ohio.
Okay.
Hey, Daniel Groves, what are you going to get your older son for his next birthday? Are you going to make him something out of paper mache in the what do you call it? The rec hall?
When did you find out that Jessica was pregnant with Dylan?
It was somewhere in late October, 1st of November when she told me. She told me that she had known for a couple of weeks.
I thought he was going to say it was somewhere in late October or early March. When did I find out about the pregnancy? Somewhere around late October or early March.
But have not told me.
Okay, and make sure you keep your voice up. I'm not sure if everybody else is hearing you or not.
Okay.
So she was several months along prior to you learning that she was pregnant, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is it because you're just not an observant individual, or she just wasn't showing very much?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that she had got a little belly, but she had not been working, and I had been cutting some timber on my property and then working for myself, and we had ordered a lot of takeout and stuff, and I thought she had just gained some weight, which happens, up and down.
Okay.
Takeout and fentanyl. Yeah. It's not the best exercise program, is it? It's not what your coach would outline as a training breakfast. Start the day off with a little meth, then order a Domino's.
You heard, I believe it was on the second day that we were here, second or third day we were here, that a caseworker had made a note in the activity logs for Children's Services records that you indicated that Jessica did not go to prenatal appointments because she was too high. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I do.
And could you please put that into context for us? Was that something that you knew that she was missing prenatal appointments, or something you learned after the fact?
That was something I learned after the fact, and I did explain that to her. I told her that when she found out she was pregnant late, she had only had a couple appointments. I was, I wasn't employed for nobody at the time, so I was picking up odd and end jobs, and I was working when she was supposed to go to the appointments, and to my understanding, she was going to the appointments. I didn't find out until after the fact.
Okay. So when did you actually learn she had missed all those prenatal appointments?
After Dylan was born.
Okay. Is that when she came clean with you?
Yes, she came clean to me actually about 5 minutes into the ride to the hospital that she had been using drugs and that she had not went to her appointments.
Was that a shock to you?
To say the least.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially when I found out she'd done my drugs. Yeah, I was shocked. And pissed. Was that a shock to you? Not till I got home and found my stash was empty.
While you were at the hospital, did you attempt to answer the medical staff's questions?
Yes, I did attempt to answer questions, but I did hesitate some because, you got to understand, I learned a lot on the way in there. I was trying to process all that. I was worried about my wife. I was extremely worried about my child being born at the time. I felt some intimidation from her. Being with somebody for 24 years, I just a protective nature.
Okay. Did you want to answer their...
He's a protector. That's how we got into this mess. Okay. So the reason the boy is dead is because the dad was too protective. Watching her beat him in the head 4 times. Oh, but not enough to cause a fracture. Fucking hell. Really?
Questions?
Absolutely.
Were you afraid to, based on those circumstances, to answer their questions?
Yes, I was somewhat afraid.
Okay. We heard there was a description by some of the staff that came in and testified that you were actually looking at Jessica prior to answering those questions. Was that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay. Was the whole situation intimidating to you?
Absolutely.
Is Jessica intimidating to you at some times?
Yes, she can be.
Is that something that's inherent in your relationship or runs through your relationship?
Rephrase your question.
Sure.
Objection sustained.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I'll rephrase. How so is she intimidating to you at times?
Just at times when certain things would happen or occur, she would sometimes threaten me with, causing problems in our marriage, leaving me, stuff to that nature.
Okay. So was this typical of your relationship throughout?
Daniel, her leaving you would not be a threat. That would have been a gift, okay? That would have been the best gift that you could have hoped for. But now what have you got? You've got a dead baby and 48 years to life. And judging from the look of your kind of, drooping, furrowed, sorry-looking face, I don't think you've got it in you. I don't think you're going to clear 3 figures, okay? That's a long way off.
Throughout the years that there would be periods of Jessica intimidating you or putting blame on you or trying to...
Objection sustained. Rephrase the question.
Okay. Was this typical behavior of your relationship with Jessica?
Yes.
Still lady comment.
That's an overrule.
At the hospital, did you go to the nursery and see baby Dylan?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you go and see him?
Exact time, I don't know, but I had actually asked one of the nurses, I don't recall which one, if I could go, and she had told me that I needed to wait because where he was having problems, they needed to take him and assess him and put him on oxygen, and they would let me know when I could come.
So you were waiting for medical personnel to indicate to you, or were you waiting for medical personnel to indicate to you that it was okay to go down to the nursery?
Yes, I was waiting. I never did get told that, so I eventually asked again.
Okay. And we heard testimony early on that you arrived down there approximately an hour or so after the baby was born?
Yeah, no, I don't have an exact time, but it was somewhere like around 7.
And when you went down there, did you speak with medical staff about Dylan and his condition?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you try to ascertain what state of health he was in and if he was doing all right?
Yes, I asked I'm not sure which one it was. I don't remember her name. I recall her face. She was in here, but I asked her how he was doing, stuff to that nature, and why he was having to be put on oxygen.
Were you also concerned about your wife and her health as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you stay at the hospital that entire day?
Yes.
Okay. It's my understanding, and we heard some testimony, that Children's Services arrived at the hospital sometime that evening, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were asked to produce a urine sample for a urine screen?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you fake that or falsify the results of that test in any way?
Absolutely not.
Was anyone in the restroom with you when you produced that sample?
No, I was alone. The door was cracked. Miss Johnson was standing right outside the door.
Okay. Did anyone besides yourself put
Miss Johnson.
urine in that sample cup?
Objection, Your Honor.
Grimes.
Leading.
Sustained.
Line of questions.
Rephrase the question, Ms. Scott.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Describe the process of putting urine in the cup.
I went into the bathroom.
Describe the process of putting urine in the cup. What do you want? A diagram? Well.
She had tore some labels off the cup, prepared to get it ready, told me to go in there, to put urine in the cup, put the lid back on it, set it down or bring it back out to her. Do not flush the toilet, do not wash my hands.
Did you follow those
Great.
instructions?
Yes, I did.
The instruction would have been to tell you to wash your hands. Don't act like you needed to follow an order to get that right. That was your natural position.
Was Daniel Jr. in the restroom with you?
No, Daniel Jr. was not even at the hospital at this time.
Okay. Was anyone else in the...
You know when they go that extra mile? Like, no, Daniel Jr. was not actually even at the hospital at that exact time. He wasn't even in the state at that time. Daniel Jr. was flying over the Pacific Ocean at that time on his way to Guam.
The restroom with you?
You know, it's like, okay, I really need to get this over the line. Was Daniel Jr. in the room with you at that time? He could just say no, and the result would be the same. But he goes, no. Daniel Jr. was not even at the hospital at that time. Bullshit. He was in the room. You've just told us he was in the room. It would have been more believable if you'd have just not added that extra bit. Just say no.
At that time?
No, there was not.
Nancy Reagan. Ironically, he should have listened to that campaign, right? Do I have that right? Is that right? Is that Nancy Reagan? Just say no.
You heard a nurse describe that later on in that afternoon, when she encountered you for the second time, that you appeared as if you were on something. Did you hear that testimony?
Yes, I did.
Had you taken any illegal drugs?
No, I had not. I had been up for over 30 some hours straight, though.
Okay.
Well, without drugs. What are you like when you're on the drugs? I'm up for 90 hours. Were you on any drugs? No. I have been up for 30 hours, though. Okay. Fine. You were up for 30 hours not doing drugs. You were just working at Yard King, or what was it? Lawn King, or what was it? Who remembers? Rural King, that was it.
Would that account for being quiet, maybe looking glass?
Why does it always have to be king? You know, would you really get less customers if it was rural prince? What about like rural duke? Rural, what else could you have? Rural, page.
Glassy-eyed?
Emperor. Now you're talking. The rural emperor. That's better than king anyway, right? Emperor. What's better than emperor?
I'd say it would, yes.
Okay. At Children's Services Board, you once again took a urine sample, and we heard that described by Patricia Kraft here in her testimony.
Yes.
Did you hear that? Do you recall hearing that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Please describe that procedure for the court as well.
I came into the office and
Can I just interrupt you right there? Did you know you were going to have to produce a urine sample that day?
absolutely not.
Oh, you're from Ohio, Stacy? Okay, so what part? Because it's a state that, I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's a crossroads state, right? You got all accents. You've got at least 4 distinct accents, which is funny because most people say that Ohio doesn't have any accent. They have more than usual, right? That's the problem. We've got to drill it down. But what is it? What's the sentence you have to say with a Ohio accent? Go and get apples from your mom. And what is the rule? It's like, it's a short O and a long A. So it's I looked it up. We'll have to review and get back to you.
I was called and told I needed to come to the office to sign paperwork to pick up, that was on a Friday, to pick up my son Dylan on Monday morning.
Okay. So what happened when you got to Children's Services that day?
I arrived there. I spoke to Lisa Thomas, and she had me fill out some paperwork, sign my name on some stuff, went over some general basic stuff with me. They took me back to the restroom, gave me the cup, same procedure as a hospital. I went in, they left the door cracked. I went in, put urine in the cup, did not flush the toilet, washed my hands.
Did you follow the procedure that Children's Services asked you to do?
Yes, I did.
But part of that procedure is that you're not supposed to run water and not supposed to flush the toilet.
Correct.
Okay, did you wait until after you got the all clear to flush the toilet and wash your hands?
Yes, they asked me to bring it out to them. I took them out to it. They told me that I could go in and wash my hands.
Okay. Was anyone else in the restroom with you?
No, there was not.
Okay. Was Daniel Jr. in the restroom with you?
No, he was not even there.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't in the States.
So let's talk about the urine that Daniel told us about yesterday. Were you collecting that urine for yourself?
No, I was not.
Okay. Who was you collecting that urine for?
I was actually collecting that urine for a best friend of mine.
Was your best friend Howard Hughes? Because otherwise I don't believe you. Okay? I was actually collecting that urine for a friend to use in his art. It's called what could you call an art piece that was made of piss? Some clever pun that you could call an art piece that was made of piss. We'll have to come back to you on that one. It's out there.
I understand it was wrong, but I admit that I was doing that.
Okay. So why weren't you giving your own friend your own urine?
Because
that's the other thing. They really, I mean, Daniel has a go to push the line of, look, I didn't cause the murder, so you can't charge me with murder. It's hopeless. It's utterly hopeless. All he does is just come across as an uncaring, whatever. But they both have this thing of... Oh, I've completely lost my thought. Damn it. What did he just say? Hang on.
Collecting that urine for yourself?
no, I was not.
Okay. Who was you collecting that urine?
They both have this thing of admitting to stuff, right? Even Jessica's defense attorney at one point, he gets up for the redirect and he's like, everything you're saying here today is the truth, right? You're finally coming clean. And she's just up there going, I caused those injuries by dropping him. It's like, prosecutor's like, how many accidents did you drop him, Jessica Groves? I love it when she's just up there, because she always uses her two names. Look at the picture, Jessica Groves. It's really good, really good. Absolute pitbull prosecutor. What's her name? Cook Hutchinson. Great. Julie Cook Hutchinson. JCH. J-ch. It's like that's like the sound of a fucking shotgun being what do you call it? Cocked. J-ch. It is. That's her initials. That's cool.
I was actually collecting that urine for a best friend of mine. I understand it was wrong, but I admit that I was doing that.
Okay. So why weren't you giving your own friend your own urine?
Because at a bachelor party, I had smoked some marijuana and occasionally would smoke, a little.
So
and I was worried that it was maybe still in my system because I wasn't for sure.
At a bachelor party, yeah. Is he hoping that the jury are going to go, oh well, a fucking bachelor party, anything goes, whether you've got a kid at home or not. I mean, it's a bachelor party, so obviously get fucked up. No one is thinking that. No one is thinking that at all, right?
The time frame on that.
So was it ever your intention, or were you using that urine of Daniel's to fake test Courtroom services?
No.
Let's talk a little bit about the bruising and the swelling that Daniel described yesterday. Tell the court what you believe happened. Well, first of all, do you recall this incident that he's talking about?
Yes, I recall the bruising, but not the swelling.
Okay. When did this happen, if you recall?
It was somewhere around late February, I believe. I'd actually went out. We was going to go grocery shopping, and I'd went out to start the car and let it warm up and clear some snow. There was a little snow one. And I came back in, and my wife had told me that the dream catcher had fell, and she said that he got caught up in his arm, which there was a red mark on his arm from the dream catcher. It had, like the little stringy stuff in it. And we figured that he probably freaked out and went to moving his arms and hit it. It was just a light bruise. The bruising was going within less than 2 days. I actually, because I kind of wondered at first, and I actually took the dream catcher. There was like a little a wolf or Indian thing on it. And I even held it to his head, and it was actually, a perfect match to what the light bruise was.
Okay.
Wow, nice detective work. I think I saw them do that on CSI. He held up the dream catcher to the baby's head, and it was a perfect match for the big black bruise that was on his face. So he knew that it was an accident, and he didn't need to report anything to the authorities. I actually held up the dream catcher to the baby's head, and it was a perfect match. Oh, that's too long of a statement for a Victoria Girl T-shirt. Where is she? She'll make that into something. What was it? I gotta write it down. I'll tell her later. I held the dream catcher up to the baby's head, and it was a perfect match. We gotta do something with a dream catcher and a baby's head. Perfect match. Maybe just that, yeah. Just the dream catcher on one side, baby's head, perfect match. Perfect match, I like that. It's the sort of thing that looks like it has meaning, even if you don't understand. People will be interpreting all sorts of things out of that. That's the best thing about true crime t-shirts. Finding things that only work for their intended purpose if you're in on the in joke, right? But if you're not, and it's open to interpretation, and people come up with their own shit, even better. I love that. Stacy, thank you for this great looking super sticker. We love it. Thank you so much, Stacy. And thank you also to our good friend and colleague, Gigi Bean, who just supported the channel in a great way on buymeacoffee.com/truecrimemetrics with 3 cups of Java bean. Thank you, Gigi Bean.
Please describe the area of bruising that you witnessed and you saw.
It was just a small bruise on his forehead. I'm not for sure which side it was on. I don't recall, but it was just a small bruise on his forehead.
You heard Daniel describe, and he made a motion that there was bruising where his hair would have been or where his hair should be. Is that an accurate description?
No, I don't think that is accurate. I never saw no swelling whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, I only saw bruising, no swelling. I don't remember the swelling, just bruises. So not guilty.
Did you at any time suspect that there was more to that injury other than that dream catcher falling
No, I
and
did
hitting him
not.
in the head?
No, I did not.
Did you see any lacerations to the baby?
None.
Okay. So let's talk about juvenile court. There were some juvenile court proceedings in this case regarding Dylan and Daniel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You heard how Mr. Dunham described how males are required to give urine samples for juvenile court proceedings.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay. Did you ever take a test for juvenile court proceedings, a urine test?
Yes, I did. I'm not sure an exact date, but it was like within 5 to 7 days after Dylan's, when he was born.
If I showed you a document that had a date on that test, would that refresh your recollection?
Yes, it probably would.
Your Honor, may I retrieve that document and show it to him to refresh his recollection?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Your Honor, for purposes of refreshing recollection, we would ask that this would be marked as Rose Defendant, Daniel Rose Defendant Exhibit A, correct? Let the record reflect, I'm showing that to Mr. Tiemann.
You may approach.
Now, may I approach the witness, Your
You may
Honor?
approach the witness.
Daniel, I'm going to ask that you take a look at that document and see if it helps refresh your recollection in this matter.
Yes, that's the document that I did sign on January 17th, 2019.
Could you please state that date again?
January 17th of 2019.
So is that the date that you would have provided a urine screen for juvenile court?
Yes.
Okay. And was your urine screen negative at that time?
Yes, it was.
And once again, was Daniel Jr. in the restroom with you?
No, he was not present.
Was anyone in the restroom with you other than the court officer
No.
administering the test?
No, just 2 court officers.
There were 2 court officers?
Yes, they actually took me and one took me and another guy took another guy down at the same time.
Okay. Was there an officer watching you the entire time?
Yes.
Did you have to stand at a urinal?
Yes.
And as a result of taking
That's my child, man. I want my kid, man.
Are you required to sign off on those results?
Hey, thank you so much, Michelle, for those 3 cups of, what is it this week? Kenyan roast.
Yes,
And did you on this occasion?
yes, my signature is right here on this paper.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Help Me Grow agency that we heard testimony from since the trial has been pending. Did you understand or have any knowledge that you needed to participate in that program?
I was never clarified that it was a mandatory. I was just under the understanding that it was a voluntary program.
Did you think that Dylan
My understanding of the mandatory court-ordered drug court was that it was voluntary. Optional.
needed to participate in that program?
I at the time did not even know about what all the program provided and stuff, but I did not think that he needed anything like that, no.
Okay. Do you recall getting these letters or phone calls that they discussed in their testimony?
I do remember getting letters later on, but cell phone service is limited out there. I mean, I did get a message from her just as they spoke about the weather. It had got canceled at one time, and I did have a couple voicemails from her later, yes.
Okay. Did you think you were doing anything wrong by not participating in the program?
Your Honor, leading.
Sustained. Repeat the question.
Did you come to any kind of conclusion about the Help Me Grow program?
No, other than I just thought it was a voluntary program. You could participate if you wanted, and if you didn't, you didn't have to.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about the lab work that was requested by Dr. Hudson that was discussed a couple of days ago. Please tell the court, please tell the jury about that lab work and what you did, what you didn't do, what you thought you were required to do.
Okay, so at first, at one of Dylan's appointments, he had told me about the levels. I'm sure that name on it, but he told me that the levels were low, and he told me that a lot of times there was some false negatives, but he wanted to be sure. So after his appointment that day, we took him to the hospital. We actually had to take him to 2 different labs because the first lab we took him to in the Fulton building, they did not feel they had the right stuff to take the test with such a young newborn. So we took him to SOMC at the hospital, to their lab, and they performed the test. And then there was some misunderstanding about the test. I had actually got a call from one of the lab workers, and he had told me that there was some confusion about one of the tests, and that he was not sure that Dr. Hudson wanted to perform it, but he wasn't for sure. He wasn't for sure of what test that Dr. Hudson did not get that he wanted. So he was supposed to contact him and contact me back, and I never did make communications with him again.
Okay. So Daniel, let's get into this. Did you ever see or suspect that Jessica was causing the injuries to Dylan that would have resulted in his rib fractures or his skull fracture?
Absolutely not.
No, I thought that was the dream catcher. The dream catcher fractured his ribs, okay? I held it up. It was a perfect match. I mean, come on. Oh, fuck. Okay, I don't need to swear that much. It's bad for the algorithm. So we're going to use the word, what's a good replacement? We'll come up with something.
How could you not have?
Michelle, tell me how to swear in Italian. We'll trick the algorithm. The only word I know is bucchiac.
That's what everybody's going to want to know.
Believe me, I have asked myself that every day, a million times since. I don't know. I mean, he did do some extra crying, I thought, but I even Googled and looked up about, because I had about babies being born addicted to drugs, and I done research and read on it that said that newborns, sometimes up to 6 months, would do excessive crying, be more irritable, and stuff of that nature. So I just took it as that was what it was. And I read, looked it up what maybe would help him, and it said to maybe just stimulate him, change his environment at the time or something. So there would be times that he would maybe get to crying a little more. I would pick him up and mess with him, and he would stop. I had a workshop out back of my house. Sometimes I would take him out there with me just to get.
I had a workshop out back of my house. You mean a crack den? Yeah, I would go out there to work in my workshop. Mostly cabinetry. Cabinets and some drawer realignments, some ornate inlay work that I was doing in my workshop out back of my house. Can you imagine what it's like in there? Crack everywhere.
Just to change his environment, and it would help.
Other than the incident that we have already talked about, that Daniel described yesterday, did you notice any other outward signs of bruising or swelling to Dylan?
No, I did not.
Did you in any way cause the death of Dylan?
Absolutely not.
Did you observe Jessica in any way cause the death of Dylan?
No, I did not.
Did you
do anything to prevent the obvious mortal peril that your son was in at the hands of your wife when she was beating him in the head? Did you run to the neighbor and say, "Get my wife out of here"? Did you call a cop? Did you call social services? No. You failed to act.
suspect any behavior of Jessica that would have resulted in Dylan's death?
No, I did not. She was always a loving, caring mother.
Stacy, is this your only 7th live? I didn't know you were that new. Welcome, Stacy, and thank you for becoming a member so early into your long and lustrous career.
To Daniel Jr., and I've never expected anything like this.
Did you actively participate in Dylan's death or observe anyone, including Jessica, cause Dylan's death?
No, I did not.
And once again, when did he pass away?
March 28th, 2019, within probably a couple hours after the social worker or the CPS worker was there.
So why did you tell Joe to...
So it's her fault then. Because that's the other thing. These social workers, when the baby was born, when she got to the hospital, like, you're just about to, conclude labor. They tried to bring in the baby after they cleaned it up to be on the mother, for bonding and whatever, but all the nurses immediately, they were just like, okay, this isn't working. There's no connection here whatsoever. This baby hates this woman. Get the baby away. And, Jessica also was just completely not there. And then the social workers were coming around the house after the baby was rehoused with them. Of course, they couldn't hand the baby over because the social worker would have immediately seen all of the vicious injuries and swelling, right? So they kept hold of him like, oh, this child keeps wanting the breast, and now they're blaming the social worker. Yep, the baby died probably within a couple of hours of that crooked, corrupt social worker being present, not doing her job.
Uncle, that it was a day or two after the caseworker was there.
Because at the time, I'd been in such grief and shock and being sick, because I did use some drugs after my last son was taken. I just went through the experience of losing my baby and losing my...
Yeah, Oh, I had to go through the experience of losing my baby because of drugs. So the way I got over that was to do drugs. By the way, I am not anti-drugs. I'm anti-moron. Okay, that's a difference.
Older son, and I fell to drugs. I admit that, I wasn't even sure of the date that the CPS worker was there, and that's why I told Ms. Conkle that it was the 28th, 29th, 30th, somewhere right in there. I wasn't for sure, what date it was at the time.
You had a landmark for the day with Children's Services worker
Yeah,
being
yeah.
there, but you weren't exactly sure what the date was.
Yeah, I just wasn't for sure.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
Did you use Patricia Kraft being there as the landmark for the date of Dylan's death?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Was that the best?
Oh, Gigi Bean is Stacy. Wow, okay, now I got it. Well, great. Okay, so you're not that new. Because Gigi Bean, that's an old name.
Best day you could reference it to?
Yes,
Sustained.
When you were talking to Jody Conkle, were you doing your best to give her a frame of reference of time?
Sustained. Rephrase your questions, Ms. Beth. Open to the questions.
Please describe for the court the process of giving Jody Conkle a date for when baby Dylan had passed away.
the date that the CPS worker was there last.
So when you were testing clean for Children's Services and Juvenile Court in January, were you actually clean?
Yes, I was.
So when did you start using?
Early May of 2019.
Hang on. When were we starting from? We were at February, weren't we? 2 months.
So what happened after you discovered Dylan had passed away?
Well, I had came into the living room.
We panicked. We went into a heightened state of constant panic.
And found him in his pack and play where he laid out during the daytime. I'd found him there deceased. And I went into total shock, grief, of course.
How did Jessica behave towards you after you strike that?
Yeah. Hey, dipshit. Human beings don't go into grief immediately, okay? Especially when something as horrific as an infant dying happens, because there's this switch in the brain where you don't even want to accept it as a reality. You know, people take that beyond reason. You know, remember Tammy Watts in with Chris Watts. Chris. No, it's not Tammy Watts. What's her name? Tammy Lee in with Chris Watts. Chris, someone will call me up even if their kid's been decapitated. They'll say, get him to a hospital. He's gonna make it. Like their heads out the window. Yeah. Oh, grief, of course. Yeah, no. Shock and then immediately grief. I mean, what is it? What's the denial, anger, depression? What is it? Grief, acceptance. He skipped 3 stages.
Your Honor, I want to rephrase. Was Jessica in the room with you when you discovered that Dylan had passed away?
When I first walked in there, she was not, but she had followed me in within just probably a minute.
So what was Jessica's
See you later, Stacy. Come back next time.
reaction?
She was very upset. Of course, in shock too. She seemed somewhat nervous and scared, and started telling me that
she kept saying, "What the fuck are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're fucked." Yeah. And then also grief. And here's another tip, right? If you're a meth head, or a smack head, or a crack head, or a fentanyl head, or, any kind of head, and you need to clean up a body, or get away with murder, take a couple of days off, right? Don't go and get high to sort it out, right? That's the worst idea possible, In fact, don't do anything for 3 or 4 days. Try and eat and, drink a lot of water, a lot of fluids, and just try to get that human body back into function, right? And then deal with the problem. Hey, thank you so much, Victoria Girl, for this handsome super chat sticker thing. We love it. Canadian. Fantastic. We've got a new one as well. What can we do with the sentence is... Well, the sentence was too long. But, what was it? He was putting up a... it's too hard to explain right now. We'll come back to it.
If they would be blaming it on me and us, and because of being involved in CPS.
What was her demeanor and her behavior like towards you?
She was very radical, very forthcoming, very just kind of pressuring me.
Was there any of this fear and intimidation that you had described from her behavior in the past?
Rephrase the question.
What were your conversations?
Just about CPS, thinking that it would be both our faults. She kept telling me, they're going to blame you, they're going to blame you. You have custody of the baby. They're going to blame you and not me.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel very scared.
What was her demeanor like?
She was forceful, kept over and over and over repeating to me that they would blame me because I had custody of the baby.
Sounds like her main objective was saying to him, you are going to have to fix this because they will blame you. So my problem is your problem, buddy.
Maybe.
Get me a milk crate. Get me 2 milk crates and some chain. We're going to build ourselves a coffin.
What became your honest belief at that time in regards to being blamed for Dylan's death, based on Jessica's attitude and conversations to you?
Michelle, you're always here. That's why you're our number one fucking... you man the house. Pretty much. You're here more than I am.
I got set in my mind that they probably would blame me because I had custody and was responsible for him.
What went into your decision making to place Dylan into the well?
That same stuff, and her forcing me and kept telling me that they was going to blame me.
What was your reason for not being truthful at first with the law enforcement?
I was just very scared, very afraid.
I know, right? We haven't spoken hair. There's not much to speak about hair in Ohio, unfortunately. But what could we do for Daniel? How about if we turned his head upside down? He might actually look better with a mouth in his forehead.
Were you sick?
Yes, I was sick. I was very afraid of they was going to just blame it all on me, basically.
And was that based on what Jessica had told you she would do?
Yes.
Overruled.
Yes, it was.
Again, Daniel, did you cause Dylan's death?
Absolutely not.
Did you in
Absolutely
any
not.
way hide him from Children's Services while he was alive?
No, I did not. Did I cancel some appointments? Yes, I did, but I did not know why hide him from CPS.
Did you hurt him in any?
Yeah, I just couldn't drive that day because I was on meth. But good dad. Didn't hide from CPS. I cancelled appointments because I was drugged out while in charge of the baby. You know what I mean? It's their excuses to come in to a murder trial and get the jury on their side really just don't quite get there, right? It's always just a little bit out of reach.
Way?
Absolutely not.
Did you help Jessica hurt him?
No,
Did you know she would hurt him or cause his death?
no.
Your Honor, I have no more questions at this time. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. You described this relationship that you have with Jessica and that you've been together over 24 years and that you've been married for over 20. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
God, rough, huh? I mean, that already sounds like a life sentence. 20 years married to that. You do 20 years married to that, and then you go and do 48 years in prison. Put that on the scale, huh? I mean, what would be better? 20 years free, but with that, or 48 years in prison, but not with that. It's a tough one. That is tough. I guess you'd have to go with the shorter time. Yeah. Plus, you know, you can still drive to get her meth.
Even though you've been together for all of that time and you've been married for a significant portion of time, if you had suspected she was capable of causing injuries that would cause him to be seriously harmed or that would have resulted in his death, what would you have done in regards to Jessica being permitted to be around him?
I would absolutely not have let her around him. Just like if I would have knew that any of these injuries had occurred to him, it would have been a total different decision to when I decided to help her hide him too. I, at the time, just thought he had just passed away for some other reason.
Yeah, just
Do you believe
dream
that you were
catcher wrestled
deceived
him
by
to death.
Jessica?
Actually, pretty good question, this guy.
Is this a situation where you were deceived by Jessica, or, sorry, Your Honor.
Yeah, she's still waiting. Go ahead and ask
Okay.
modified witness.
Okay. Throughout the time that you had Dylan in your home, throughout the time that Jessica had access to him, were you, or do you have a belief that you were deceived by Jessica?
Absolutely.
Did you do anything Did you have any other behaviors? Did you have any other responsibilities in this case other than not reporting his death to authorities?
Other than helping her take him to the well, I had no other part in it.
Did you have any other responsibilities other than help prepare Dylan to put him in those crates?
Can you rephrase the question?
Did you have any other responsibility in his death or hiding from law enforcement other than not reporting his death, preparing him to be put in those crates, and
That's
ultimately
enough.
placing him in the well?
No other. No,
Yeah, all I did was hide the body, put him in the box, and put the box in the well. That was my only role. So don't tar me with the same decrepit brush.
I had no other involvement in it.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Mr. Stratton, do you wish to cross-examine?
Oh, yes. Yeah. A couple of questions about his rectal chamber. Fucking Victoria girl, wait until you hear what this guy did with his urine bottle.
Mr. Groves, how long have you and Jessica been together?
Approximately 24 years.
24 years. And of those years, how long have you been married?
Over 20.
Over 20. In any time over those 20 years, was there a point in which you have seen terrible behavior out of Jessica Groves?
Terrible
Except
as in,
here recently.
Terrible as in.
Did she ever harm?
Terrible as in... Terrible as in beating a fucking 4-month-old baby to death, okay? Are we on the same page? Terrible as in... Did you ever see terrible behavior out of Mrs. Groves? Can you narrow it down?
Harm your oldest child?
Absolutely not.
No indication from him?
No.
Okay. So, you were together for this entire period of time and come to understand how she interacts with the child.
Correct.
Okay. Is it a surprise to you that this happened?
Absolutely. To say the least.
And once again, he died on March 28th, correct?
He died March 28th after the CPS worker left.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, after that fucking no good jobs
Statement
were
cross-examined.
fucking
Thank you, Your Honor.
corrupt. Oh, here we go. Cross. Big cross. This guy looks like he makes his own sauce and has his face on the bottle, right? I mean, what kind of sauce do you think it would be? If this guy made his own sauce and had his face on the bottle, what would that sauce be? He's got a pretty small hand there, right? Jesus. Looks like his watch is going to fall clean off his wrist. Oh, God, is that normal? Is that like one deformed hand? He's got one normal hand and one small hand. That's why he has to hold the pad of paper at an angle. It's gravity. And that tie makes him look like he works at a rental car desk, and not even a good one. One in the airport. and Jessica Groves is just wearing an average druggy hoodie in court. I'm surprised she doesn't put the hood up.
Mr. Groves,
Yes, sir.
isn't it true that you promised Children's Services Board that you were employed?
Yes, I did.
Isn't it true that you indicated to the Children's Services Board you worked at Rural King?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true you led Children's Services to believe?
We need some time to answer it.
You've been answering overruled.
Isn't it true that you led Children's Services to believe you were still employed at Rural King?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true that you promised Children's Services that you didn't have drug problem?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true that you didn't mention to Children's Services any marijuana?
I did not.
Isn't it true that you were, for a period of months before and after you had the baby in your home, collecting urine from your son, Daniel?
Before, yes.
So when Daniel says before and after, he is lying.
I do not recall giving him or asking him for any urine after Dylan's birth.
You heard him testify here yesterday, correct?
I heard him do that, but I think he was mistaken on dates.
So you're saying suddenly you don't recall this from yesterday. You don't recall giving it to him after, getting it from him after.
No.
Well, explain the process where you got it from him.
I would ask him to put urine into a cup, and I would put it into another bottle.
Smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
Easier to conceal.
Mm-hmm.
Easier to keep warm.
Easier to conceal. Smaller bottle, easier to conceal. Easier to keep warm. There's the clue, right?
Easier to keep warm? I have no idea about that.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea about that. I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know what you mean by keep warm. I don't know where I could put it where the air wouldn't get to it.
We had a good buddy that had a good idea. Did he tell you how to do that? Is that what happened there?
Yeah, he never.
You had a good buddy that told you all about it, where to put that bottle, didn't you?
Never told me how he did it.
Never told you how. You just knew.
Look at him, he's smiling. He knows he put a bottle of piss up his own ass and then went and stood at a urinal, clenching it between his, well, you know, it wouldn't be between his cheeks because it's actually, you know, inside, right? But he's standing there, opens the lid of the bottle and pretends to have a piss. I mean, that you could see would be uncomfortable, but convincing, right? Which, when you're in drug court getting your urine test, that's what counts, you know? You can put ointment on when you get home, you know? Get the job done. Any means necessary. This prosecutor knows that.
To put it in some kind of smaller cup for concealment.
Well, the cup that I had him collected in did not have a lid or nothing on it.
Okay, so then the other cup had a lid.
Mm-hmm.
It was smaller.
Yes.
For concealment.
I don't know for concealment. I just know it was smaller to give it to my friend.
I don't know. I don't know where I would conceal it. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what my buddy said. I wouldn't listen even if he said to do that.
And it's your testimony that you were fearful that you were going to test positive for marijuana.
Yes, because I was unaware of how long it stayed in my system.
Okay. And so then you tested at Children's Services, correct?
Yes.
You tested clean.
Yes.
But then you still had Dylan give you urine.
Daniel?
Daniel give you urine.
After Dylan was born?
Yes.
No.
No. So Daniel's totally mistaken about that.
Nothing sets an example for your 14-year-old son like, give me some clean piss, boy. What do you mean you just went to the bathroom? Go and drink 4 quarts of water right now. I'm waiting. I gotta go to drug court.
I think he's
Make sure it's warm.
just misunderstood, yes.
So you think he misunderstands when his dad comes up to him and says, pee in a cup for me?
On dates, yes, I do. He's been through a lot in the last year.
He sure has.
He's been through a lot in the last year. Well, let's just review. His dad was constantly wanting his piss. It's got to eat into your day. And then, what else is it? Oh yeah, his baby brother was beaten to death and thrown down a well. I mean, that sounds like a fairy tale backwards, and upside down. But and then what? Oh yeah, his mother and father were arrested by a robot and taken away for murder. And now he's testifying. Yeah, it's quite a lot when you really should be focusing on your schoolwork and girls and what else do they do? Basketball.
I'll withdraw the commentary, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Teeman.
Apologize to the court.
Objection sustained.
So these nurses at the hospital, you heard their testimony the other day.
Yes,
You heard their experience.
yes,
You heard the drug epidemic that they're battling on a daily basis at Southern Ohio Medical Center.
yes.
Yeah, Southern Ohio Medical Center. I think you need to fucking give up, okay? There's no winning that war. You know, what about that other place? What's it called? Huntingdon. What is it? Is it Huntingdon or Huntsville? No, Huntsville's different. Huntingdon, right? West Virginia, or the tri-state area. Epidemic. South Ohio Medical Center. Good luck. Good luck. God bless.
You're saying all those nurses, that nurse that said she saw you high later in that day, was wrong.
Yes, she was.
She was wrong or lying.
Yes.
One or the other, right?
I don't think she was lying. I think she was just mistaken.
She was mistaken.
Everybody's not right all the time, are they?
No, they're not.
Absolutely.
But I'll ask.
Insightful. Everybody's not right all the time, are they? Yeah, except there was lots of stuff to verify that her memory was accurate.
I think she was just mistaken.
She was mistaken.
Everybody's not right all the time, are they?
No, they're not.
Absolutely.
But I'll ask the questions. All right?
Sorry.
You know, that's such the ultimate lawyer cliche, isn't it? But I'll ask the questions, Mrs. Thorndyke. You know, I'll ask the questions here, Mrs. Thorndyke. You got to think that every lawyer loves the opportunity to say that, right? But is aware that they shouldn't say it too much. So you got to think that there's this little switch in the head, because there's a dopamine fix there to be had by any lawyer. That lawyer just said, but I'll ask the questions. And all of a sudden felt a little bit better. 3 inches taller without even knowing why. But he does know why. It's because he got to use that favorite dopamine feeding phrase, I'll ask the questions, right? So they've got to have this like Terminator scanner thing where if they see an opportunity, Because everybody knows it's such a cliche. If it gets overused, it loses its power, right? So when they see an opportunity, 90% of the time, they probably back off and say, no, too early. When did the last time I used that phrase? 45 minutes ago? I better wait another 10 minutes. You know? They've got to have this thing. So they just get a little bit excited, right? And I think when he says it like he just did here, now he's going to go for the throat.
So they were wrong.
They was mistaken on me. Yes, they was.
And Dylan.
They was mistaken on me. Yes, they was. There was this great sentence earlier. Did I write that down? This is Southern Ohio speak. This is great. Shit, I don't think I did write it down, but what was it? It was, I forget, doesn't matter.
Or not Dylan, and Daniel was mistaken.
Just by a date.
So you're denying leaving the hospital to get high at that point.
I did not leave the hospital and get high, no.
They were also wrong about your relating to them that she hadn't been going to prenatal care. You were aware she hadn't been going to prenatal care because she was too high to go.
I was not aware.
Objection. I would ask that he would clarify who the they was, because I do not believe that that was medical staff. If he's still indicating medical staff, that was...
Don't argue your objection.
Sorry.
Overruled.
Will you repeat the question?
Isn't it true you represented that she wasn't going to prenatal care because she was too high?
I did to CPS workers after the fact that I found out.
So you never told that to anyone else?
No.
And you've never phrased that in a way, you're saying they misinterpreted what you said?
Misinterpreted what I said about what?
Because you had knowledge that she wasn't going to prenatal care because she was high.
Because I was told that by her.
But when they testified here, you had knowledge in their impression, correct?
The nurses?
Nurses, CPS workers, whoever else you told?
Yes, because she told me that on the way to the hospital that morning.
Let me ask you about another promise you made Children's Services. Isn't it true that you promised Children's Services that your wife would not be in the home unsupervised or overnight?
Yes, I did.
You broke that promise, did you?
As to which aspect?
Did you break that promise or not? How hard is it?
She did stay there a couple nights. Yes, she did.
Just a couple nights?
Yes.
So when Daniel said she was there, he just been a couple nights? Is that your testimony here today?
She was not leaving until after he was asleep, and she was returning right before he got up for school, because I was worried that he was going to be extremely worried about her not being there, because he was.
So you allowed that to happen?
A couple times, yes, I did.
Did you report to Children's Services that you violated the conditions of the safety plan or the safety, any of those plans?
I did tell Patricia Kraft that she did stay there one night, and Patricia Kraft told me that that was fine. She appreciated my honesty.
Did Patricia Kraft testify to that?
I'm not aware if she did or not.
You can see that baby Dylan had 3 separate instances of injuries.
Yes, I know that now.
You know that now. But you testified on direct that you had no way of knowing that you didn't know of that.
No, I did not. Other than the small bruise from the dream catcher.
Where were you at? Baby Dylan had all these injuries and you didn't notice it.
I had to just be inside my home or briefly stepping out to go outside to take care of my dog.
Yeah, I was in the workshop working on my ornate inlay and my cabinetry.
Or something.
You heard from the testimony. Did you care for the child at the home?
Yes, I did.
Did you bathe the child?
Yes, I did.
Change the child's diapers?
Yes, I did.
Change the child's clothing?
Yes, I did. Are you asking me if I was the only one that done it?
No, I'm asking you, did you do that?
Yes, I did.
States Exhibit 67, Your Honor. Sir, these nodules we see here in this exhibit, baby Dylan's ribs. That's just on the other layer of the skin. You're saying you didn't see anything in his rib cage, any bruising?
No, I did not see no bruising, never.
States Exhibit 58. You didn't see that bruising?
No.
No bruising. I didn't see any bruising. I saw swelling around bruises, but as far as seeing bruising, no, not at all.
States Exhibit 58. You didn't see the bruising on the head?
No, and as I recall, the expert said that not always was there bruising.
No, but your son said he saw bruising all around the head, didn't he?
I did not see no bruising other than no bruise on his forehead.
We have this picture from that same exhibit. Has bruising all around his forehead, doesn't it?
I recall the expert saying that could have been from post-mortem.
But it just happens to match what Daniel Jr. said the bruising was, didn't it?
It would appear to.
I'll leave that to the jury to decide.
Once again, I will object to this commentary.
You remember talking to Jody Conkle on multiple occasions?
Yes, I do.
You were talking to her about, well, let's talk about this. You remember Dr. Hudson testifying?
Yes, I do.
If the baby had that kind of injury, he'd be crying in pain.
Yes, I remember that testimony.
You remember Dr. Brown testifying that the other indicia of an issue not only would be bruising, swelling, but the baby crying or screaming in pain.
Yes, I do.
You got told from the doctor, didn't you, Mr. Groves, that a baby crying or screaming in pain was bad?
You recall talking to Jody Conkle on June 14th, 2019.
I recall talking to her a few times, but I don't remember which exact date.
Okay. Well, do you remember at one point in that conversation with her talking about him crying and crying and crying and you'd take him out to that building and he'd suddenly stop crying.
Yes, I mentioned that before, that I thought it was from him being
And
born
then he'd
addicted
come,
to
you'd bring
drugs.
him back in the house.
I would object and allow him to have my witness finish answering the questions.
Finish his answer, don't talk over each other.
I'm sorry, sir, did you finish your answer?
Yes, as I stated before, I thought it was because of him being born addicted to drugs. Like I said, I looked it up, and they said that infants sometimes up to 6 months would be more irritable, more touchy, do a lot more crying.
So you looked it up on Google, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I believe it was Google, yes. It was somewhere online.
Somewhere online.
Yeah.
Didn't call.
Yeah, I believe it was Google, yeah. Could have been Google or Yahoo, but definitely not Ask Jeeves.
CPS?
Over some extra crying? No.
Didn't talk to your LPN wife?
I did talk to her about it, and she told me that it was most likely due to being addicted to drugs.
Same lady you're scared of?
Yes.
Didn't call Dr. Hudson?
Do you think the baby that was trying to be weaned off drug addiction, and they're in there smoking meth all day around the drug addicted baby? I mean, you know, how is he supposed to get clean? You know?
No, I had no concern to call a doctor. It was just merely crying.
So you don't remember telling Detective Conkle that you saw your wife hit the baby a couple times?
I said that I had what I thought were dreams of it, but I was unsure if they were true or not.
Yeah, I had a dream of my wife hitting the baby, and I immediately woke up and I thought, I'm going to call the police right now, and then realized that I was dreaming.
I was
Did you or
very
did you
sleep
not
deprived.
say you saw your wife you saw your wife strike the baby?
I said I did, but I thought it was dreams.
So it's a dream.
I was very sleep deprived.
Isn't it true that you said to Detective Conkle, I know it's fucked up, I should have never done this way, I knew better, and I seen her.
You tend to get sleep deprived when you're up for 3 days on meth. I'd been up for 30 hours. I was very sleep deprived.
Her hit him probably 4 times, probably.
I don't recall how many times I said.
4 times on the head? Do you remember Detective Conkle asking you that?
I don't recall what questions were asked.
You don't recall answering yeah
I do recall answering yes
to that question?
to those questions, yes.
So you do remember telling Detective Conkle 4 times in the head,
But
answering that?
I didn't say that I just recall her hitting. I said a smack.
So you're not saying her hit him probably 4 times?
My exact words, I don't recall exactly, no.
Is it true you told Detective Conkle she said because he wouldn't stop crying and because she was so agitated and aggravated, and if I bought her Coke, she wouldn't be that way? You don't recall hearing that?
I recall saying that we did fight because she was wanting me to buy her drugs, yes.
So you do recall her threatening the child?
A direct threat, no.
No, not a direct threat. Okay, so you saw her strike the baby 4 times, correct?
No, not a direct threat. Yeah, she didn't go up to the baby with a broken bottle and said, if you fucking don't shut up in 10 minutes, you're gonna lose an eye. No, it wasn't a direct threat. Yeah.
Somewhere around there, yes.
And you didn't take it as a threat that she was aggravated with the baby, and all you need to do is buy her Coke?
As a direct threat, no.
That didn't give you cause for concern for the safety of this baby?
Yes, it did give me a cause for concern.
Okay, so now you are concerned at your wife's behavior in the home about the danger to the baby.
Yes, I was, but she was.
And what did you do? Did you call Children's Services?
Overruled.
Did you call Children's Services and tell them?
No, I did not. She was going through therapy.
Did you call the police?
No, I did not.
Did you call Andrea Bowling?
No, I did not.
Did you go down to the neighbors and say, I'm concerned?
No, I did not.
Did you kick her out of the house that she wasn't supposed to be in the first place?
She was not living there all the time. She was allowed to be there during the day.
And you let her come back in after that?
Yes, I did.
You go on to say, one time I saw her, she had a hold of him like below his arms. Remember this? Telling Jody Conkle that?
Or she picked him up aggressively out of a seat, yes.
Like by his ribs or something. And she just kind of went, ah. You remember that?
I don't recall exactly what all we talked about.
It's a shame we couldn't see the prosecutor there, because I would have loved to have seen him mime that out, or maybe not mime, just act it out, just... She grabbed him by his ribs. I mean, these are the same ribs that got all fractured, right? From the dream catcher. So she's grabbing him by the ribs, holds him up and goes, ah! I mean, doesn't it just sound like, every bad mother rolled into one? I mean,
wow, no.
Matter of fact, didn't you tell Detective Conkle that might have been how he got his broken ribs?
I said, I wonder now if that wasn't how.
Well, you saw it then, right?
I didn't see nothing that I thought would occur to any injuries.
You're not making this up then, are you, Dad?
No, I'm not.
You're not making this whole story up that she's the one that caused the injuries, are you?
Absolutely not.
So you saw her do that?
I saw her be aggressive with him, but cause no injuries, no. I even observed the child.
Okay, so now it's your testimony that didn't cause any injuries. Any injuries.
No, it did not.
So Dr. Brown is full of crap. Is that your testimony?
Dr. Brown did not say that would cause the injuries.
No, let's see what Dr. Brown said. Dr. Brown, isn't it true that she said that the fractures on the rib were healing fractures?
Yes.
She said that was, in her opinion, her medical opinion from years of practicing medicine, that those were the first fractures on this baby.
I believe that's what she said, yes.
Okay. And then, what was the second fracture she said?
I think on the head.
On the head.
Was it on the back of the head?
So you testified, or she testified, that there was a 2-inch fracture with signs of healing on the head, on the right side of the head.
Yes.
Okay. And that happened, according to the professional, at a different time than the rib cage, correct?
Yes, I believe that's what she said.
And you just said you saw Jessica, if you're telling the truth, hit this baby 4 times.
Yes, but not to the extent to cause a fracture.
Okay.
Yeah, not that much. Not to the extent to cause a fracture. Didn't hit him in the head with a bowling ball or anything. So I thought, it was a little rough play, but no big deal.
So then we see, it's a good point. When is it, in your opinion, ever appropriate to hit a 2-month-old baby?
I didn't say it was appropriate.
But yet, you took this baby back into your home, correct?
Yes.
You promised to
What
protect
about
this
when
baby.
they got out of line?
That you would be the father.
Yes.
And when this...
What if they start talking back? Oh, they don't talk, huh? 2 months, you say? Okay. Well, what if he steals money from my wallet?
This baby was hit 4 times in the head.
You don't straighten that kid out soon, he'll fall into the wrong crowd. All hopped up on uppers and downers and sidewinders and all of those things.
And when this baby was shaken by your wife, did you call Children's Services?
No, I did not.
Did you call 911?
No, I did not.
Did you call Andrea Bowling?
No, I did not.
Did you go to a neighbor's house and say, hey, get my wife out of there?
No, I did not.
Did you stop the hand that was hurting that baby?
No, I did not.
You failed to act. Correct?
Correct.
And because you failed to act, Dylan is dead today.
Those injuries would not have caused his death.
Why did she have access to that baby?
Oh, that's the best question of the whole trial so far. Why did she have access to that baby? The baby had been taken away and put in the most perfect foster environment ever, right? Had a whole community of, the young mother and teacher. I think her son had gone off to college and she thought about becoming a foster mother. And then they said to her at the foster school agency thing where you go to get, certified. Hey, why don't you do this additional course called Foster to Adopt, right? Which is only like 2 more weeks or whatever. It was a little bit more. And then she could foster to adopt, right? And get certified because of training. And she did. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do it. I'll accept the baby. I had all of her people running around and bringing furniture and a nice crib and all of the stuff, right? All of the stuff was there. And I'm not exactly sure what the circumstances are, but for some reason, social services said, you know what? We're going to rehouse them with their birth mother. We're going to rehouse Dylan with his birth mother. This thing over here.
Because she was his mother.
And you were his father.
Yes, I was. Man.
And you saw multiple occasions where she was causing injury to this baby.
Just within a couple days.
And you did nothing.
No, I did not.
There she is. Mother of the Year, everybody.
So, you were around to see Jessica perform physical acts to those 2 of those 4 areas that baby Dylan, your son, was injured.
Yes.
You didn't stop it.
I didn't stop it. I
You
stopped
didn't stop
it.
any of that, did you?
Yeah, I stopped it then, yes.
Okay, well then, if you stopped it, how did he get a 3rd fracture?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Dreamcatcher?
Another fracture on the head. Correct?
Yes.
And then, all the bones in his arm were broken completely in 2.
That's...
All the bones in his arm were broken completely in 2. I mean, I've steered clear of the injuries, but that's horrific, isn't it? How many bones do you have in your arm? Well, like 4, really. Or maybe, yeah, I think 4.
What this says, yes. But I was unaware of that.
You're unaware of that. I was unaware of that. But this happened after the two you were aware of, correct?
They had to, yes.
They had to, exactly. And then the broken leg happened after that as well.
Correct.
And you want this jury to believe that you thought the baby just died.
Yes. I thought he did just die. I had seen no more. I had seen no more outbursts from her.
That you're not responsible for this baby's death.
No, I'm not responsible. Did I make mistakes? Absolutely.
I didn't ask you a question.
Your Honor, I would object. I think that he's trying to finish answering the question as asked.
Overrules cross-examination.
So, do you understand blunt force trauma?
Yes.
All right, tell me, what's blunt force trauma?
Getting struck by something very hard.
Do you understand that the baby's bones aren't brittle, that they're rubbery? It can take a lot more than we think they can.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
That's a point as well, isn't it? It's not brittle. So it wouldn't just be like a quick crack and it's a snap of the bone. You'd have to really, really just whack that kid. Right? Rough.
Yes.
So, you deny seeing the blunt force trauma of such a nature that it broke the upper arm bones, the upper arm bone, the lower arm bones, and the leg of your baby boy.
Yes, I never saw nothing that
Where were
was
you?
that.
Where were you?
I was in the home.
You were in the home?
I mean, I didn't stay with him 24/7. I mean,
Well, who did then? If you weren't there, who was there?
well, I mean, there was times when I would go into another room, of course.
You go in another room, did you hear your baby screaming in pain?
No, I did not.
Did you hear multiple thumps?
No, I did not.
You did tell about one thump you heard when she was back in the bedroom with him.
Yeah, I
alone,
said
right?
I heard a thump, and she had told me that her purse or something fell off the bed.
Oh, so...
And he was laying there fine, so I would have no reason to think anything else was wrong.
All right, well, that's an occasion where she wasn't being supervised with the baby, was she?
I went to the bathroom. Was I supposed to take the baby to the bathroom with me, too?
Your wife's on drugs, correct?
And at the time, I did not.
Yeah, don't do that. It's while you're trying to get the piss bottle out of your ass. Okay? Do that in private by yourself.
Like she was, no.
Oh.
She was going into treatment. I thought she was doing better.
She hadn't been to treatment since February 8th. Are you telling this court you didn't know that?
I did not. I knew
Or did you
that
bury your head in the sand?
I did not know that she had missed all those appointments. No, I did not.
So you didn't know she was back on drugs?
No, I did not.
You did know she had some violent tendencies, right?
I knew she had some, yes.
Yeah, she threatened you during the course of your marriage, didn't she?
Yeah, not violently.
So then you're asking me a question of whether you should have taken the baby to the bathroom or not with you. What do you think?
No, I don't think I should have, no. I mean, if the baby was laying there sleeping, why would I take him to the bathroom with me?
So do you think that all these injuries, from your knowledge of being a father, you have an older son who's 14, correct?
Correct.
Did he ever get hurt growing up?
Yes, minor injuries.
Minor injuries from what?
From just being a boy and playing
Being a boy.
outside.
Falling?
Mm-hmm.
Jumping out trees? Yes?
He never had no injuries falling out of a tree, no, but
Wrecked a bicycle? What kind of injuries did he get?
I just common injuries from a boy, got fingers smashed, stuff like that. He never really had no major injuries.
So from your experience, your common experience as a father with a 14-year-old son, do you honestly want this jury to believe that there was a drop of the baby that caused all these injuries?
Do I believe that a drop of the injury caused these baby? I'm not aware of what caused these injuries. So
I'm not
I couldn't
aware. But you would acknowledge something horribly violent happened to your son to break all those bones?
Obviously.
Where were you when this happened?
I had to be around the home.
Where were you when your son was dying?
Excuse me?
Where were you when your son was dying?
I had to be in the home or outside the home.
And at that point, do you recall another promise you made to Children's Services about choosing your children over your wife? Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
You broke that promise, didn't you?
I do not feel I broke that promise, no.
You do admit that you helped wrap your son for concealment in a cocoon. You admit that?
Yes, I do admit that.
And dropped him down a deep, dark, water-filled well.
Yes, I have admitted that. I admitted that from the beginning.
And you knew where that well was.
Yes.
Because you hunted there and you lost some of your dogs there.
Yes.
And that broke you up losing dogs, didn't it?
That's been years ago. I mean, when you have hunting dogs, you lose them all the time. No, it never really broke me up.
So at that point, your child is dead. Did you notice any swelling of the legs or arms or anything in that regard?
No, I did not.
Now, you guys changed that child, baby Dylan, your newborn son, before you put him in the well, didn't you?
Excuse me, what was the question?
You changed him out of clothes or put him in different clothes before you put him in the well, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Well, there's a laceration on his arm, and there's not one on the clothing he had on. How do you explain that, then?
I don't know, but we did not change him. He was in the same, he got put in there the very same thing he had on when he died. The only thing different was he had a blanket wrapped around him.
So you were near there when he died. You know, the same clothing, weren't you?
Yes.
You didn't do anything to stop it when he died, did you?
How was I going to stop something that had already happened?
Why even bother? Why even try? Is that your testimony?
No, not why would I try. I'm saying, how would I do anything after he's deceased?
Heaven forbid he have a proper burial.
I admitted to that.
But let's see, what did you tell Children's Services throughout this time when your wife's shaking your baby and hitting her heads? What were you telling them? Well, let's see, what were you doing? Were you missing juvenile court?
I missed an appointment, yes.
So that's a yes?
Yes.
Were you telling Children's Services that your baby boy was growing like a weed?
Yes, I did. He was.
You didn't tell him he was getting shaken by his mom or struck in the head multiple times, did you?
No, I did not. It only happened one time.
Oh, okay, so the time where she's shaking him like this and hitting him in the head was only one occasion?
It was within 2 days, yes.
Within 2 days? That's more than one, isn't it?
I'm not sure on the time frame, no.
Not sure on the time frame. So this time frame of healing fractures and Daniel Jr.'s testimony that the baby had that bruising for 3 days to a week, those are all bunk. Is that what you're saying?
I never saw no swelling or bruising like that, just from on the forehead is all I ever saw.
You never saw any of that. Your 14-year-old son, do 14-year-old sons pay attention to a lot of stuff?
Yeah, they pay attention to a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, your son...
Do 14-year-olds pay a lot of attention to stuff? If by stuff you mean tits, yes.
He's a good boy.
Yes, he is.
And he's a smart kid.
Yes, he is.
But he noticed this.
He's playing now.
Right?
He says he did, yes.
And you didn't notice this?
No, I did not.
Or did you choose to ignore it?
I did not ignore it. I did not notice it.
How's that working?
And you told Children's Services everything was okay, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And it wasn't, was it?
Obviously not.
So jury's heard enough, Your Honor.
No further questions.
Mr. Keeman, Ms. Scott, any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, good question.
Yeah, any redirect? What do you think the redirect's going to be? You told this jury that you were on drugs, didn't you? No further questions.
You heard Daniel testify here yesterday, correct?
Yes.
You heard Daniel when I was asking him questions about dates and when things happened. Do you recall hearing that?
Yes.
Okay. Did you recall hearing him or give testimony that he wasn't remembering exact dates?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Although he is a very smart child, very bright child,
Yes.
recalling dates, is that easy to do on any given occasion, especially after you've gone through a traumatic event such as this?
Yes, it is.
It is easy to do or easy to lose track of dates?
It is easy to lose track of dates.
Okay. Do you believe that Daniel was trying to testify honestly?
I believe he was trying to, yes.
Okay.
Objection, Your Honor, that's the proper question and answer, so if the jury determined credibility was.
Is it your testimony that Daniel was not recalling the proper dates in regards to him providing urine for you for your friend?
Yes, I do. He think he was mistaken on those dates.
You were asked about violating your promise in regards to children's services, in regards to Jessica staying at the home overnight when she was not supposed to be there. Do you recall giving that testimony?
Yes.
Okay. What did you tell Patricia Kraft about that incident or incidents?
About her staying in the home?
Yes.
I told Patricia that I had allowed her to stay there a couple of nights because it was very cold and that she didn't have nowhere to go, and I was concerned about her staying out in the cold, which she had told me she had done a couple of times.
Okay. That was reported?
Yes.
Not a blowjob in exchange for meth. No, definitely not. It was cold out, okay? I was worried about her in the cold.
I reported it to Patricia Kraft. Whether she reported it or not, I don't know. She didn't report a lot, I said.
By the way, I'm not exactly clear on who they were speaking about, so I don't know how inappropriate my last comment was, but I'm not a doctor, and I don't see one anymore either.
Let's talk about the crying and the hitting that you described to Detective Conkle. Could you please explain to the court what you were trying to say in regards to, you were trying to give an answer in regards to making mistakes and whether or not you had stopped that behavior or what you had done about that behavior or what you thought about that behavior. Could you please tell the court what you were trying to answer in regards to that?
I told him that about me making mistakes.
Making mistakes, stopping Jessica's behavior, keeping her away from the baby, it was around that line of questioning in regards to, did you believe that she was injuring the baby?
No, I did not believe that she was doing nothing to injure the baby, no. And I had talked with her and told her, and had conversations with her, and she apologized and agreed that she would do better, and I never saw no more outbursts in her because she was going through treatment. I thought she was doing good.
Were you aware of any injuries that the baby had sustained as a result of Jessica hitting or striking the baby?
No, I checked him out. There was not even a red mark.
Did you form an opinion about Dylan's?
Yeah, I checked the whole baby. No red marks. Only black and blue. No red marks. The whole baby.
Injuries or suspicion of injuries after you checked him out?
Yes, I come to the conclusion that he was fine.
You were asked about whether or not Dylan was wearing the same item of clothing as when he passed away, as to when he had the blanket wrapped around him and wrapped in plastic. Are you sure about that?
To my knowledge, he was not changed at all.
Okay. And let's talk about what you were telling Children's Services after baby Dylan passed away. Were you being honest with them?
No, I was not.
Why were you not being honest with them?
Because I was afraid that I would get the blame for it completely.
What was Jessica saying at that point in regards to Children's Services and reporting to Children's Services and coming to court and missing court dates? What was she saying you should do?
About reporting?
About going to Children's Services, reporting Dylan's death to Children's Services, showing up for court appearances, how to explain where Dylan was.
After his death?
Yes.
She was just threatening me about blaming it on me, and she was just saying that she was not going to go to any more appointments after that.
What about court appearances?
She didn't want to go to any court appearances after that.
What about meeting with Patricia Kraft?
She did not want to meet with Patricia Kraft.
I mean, to be honest, she was never big on court appearances on a good day. So now it was like really out of the question. Like, no way.
You were asked about whether or not you thought the baby just died. What is your opinion about that?
What is my opinion about him? I thought he just died. Yes. I thought that he had just died from something. I had no clue that he had sustained any injuries to cause his death. There was nothing to make me believe that. Nothing at all.
How did his scalp or head appear when you found that Dylan had passed away?
It was completely fine. There was no bruising or swelling on it at all.
The picture and the photograph that we were shown, taken as part of his autopsy, is that how Dylan's scalp appeared when you first discovered that he had passed away?
No.
The chest, did you unzip his zipper on his sleeper?
When he passed away?
Yes.
Yeah, I unzipped him and looked him over.
I'm sorry?
I unzipped the front of his sleeper and looked him over in his chest and stuff.
Yeah, we did a full cavity search to see if he'd taken any of our meth. We didn't want to throw that baby in the well if he was hiding any meth in that diaper, so we checked him over. Full search.
Like that, yes.
Okay. Did you see any of that purple or red mark on his chest?
No, I did not.
Did you observe anything, or did you form an opinion in regards to how baby Dylan had passed away after you discovered that he had passed?
The only thing that I could come to the conclusion of was SIDS.
Just, Your Honor, as to the opinion that a layperson is not allowed to make.
He can testify as to what his belief was at the time.
But if that was the case, why then did you not call the police? Because SIDS would have been a perfectly accountable explanation?
Because of being involved with CPS and for my wife threatening to blame me.
Did you then, at that point in time, did you form a different opinion about how he may have passed away?
No, I didn't.
Did you form an opinion once?
Where is everybody in chat? Everybody's gone. Everybody hates Daniel Groves.
She started threatening you to blame you for his death, that maybe she caused his death?
No, I did not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No further questions, sir.
Mr. Stratton, any recross?
No further questions, Your Honor.
State wish to recross?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, please step down. Will counsel approach?
What about Jessica's? Should we do that now? I think hers is a little shorter. Or should we do the son? Or we could do the foster mother. Oh no, is this it? I say, why is that one? The one I want is the one that's hard to find. Interesting.
One issue that I'd skipped over earlier, Mr. Stratton, you had identified defendant's exhibit.
Okay, Araguso is back. It's difficult to not say nasty things about this scumbag. Wait until you see the Jessica Groves. Man, she's a piece of work.
Please be seated. Excuse me. Back on the record in 19 CR 586 A and B, State of Ohio versus Daniel Groves and State of Ohio versus Jessica Groves. Counsel and the parties are back in the courtroom, as are the jurors and alternate jurors in this matter. Mr. Tiemann, the state may call their next witness.
Your Honor, with the admission of the state's exhibits, the state of Ohio would rest its case at this time.
The state of Ohio has rested its case at this time. Mr. Bryant. Mr. Stratton, is the defendant Jessica Groves prepared to offer their case?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Ms. Scott, is the defendant Daniel Groves prepared following to offer his case?
We are, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Stratton, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, we call Jessica Groves to the stand.
Ma'am, if you'll step forward. And will you raise your right hand for me, please? And do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please have a seat.
Jessica, please state your name for the record.
Jessica Groves.
Can you scoot your chair up there a little bit if you would? I would actually speak up to the court reporter.
Jessica,
Groves. Yeah, we
did
got
you, and you only, cause the death of your son, Dylan Groves?
Yes.
You see, she's up here almost as like, did you and you alone and you only and no one else, by yourself, independently, cause the death of your son without help? Yes. Will he send me commissary when he gets out in 30 years? Please, it's my only hope to ever taste ramen noodles again.
Did Daniel Groves participate in the killing of Dylan?
No.
Was Daniel Groves aware of any of the injuries that you caused Dylan that may have led to his death?
No.
Did you hide all injuries that you caused Dylan from your husband?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to object all these leading questions.
Sustained. Rephrase your questions, Mr. Chair.
We approach, Your Honor.
On that issue, you need to approach. Just rephrase your questions.
Jessica Groves, did you only assist in the placement of Dylan's body after his death?
Sustained. Rephrase your question, Mr. Stratton. No leading.
I have a second, Your Honor.
You may.
What are you hoping here for? What are you hoping for here, Jessica? Not much, huh? I mean, come on. What are you trying to do? I mean, what would that feel like? You're in a room full of people as this horrific bitch of a drug addict who was so fucking selfish and impatient and abusive and ill-tempered and mean that she beat up a 2-month-old baby, her own baby, tied him up with a dream catcher and fractured his ribs and probably wrists, all to death, and then bundled him up into a milk crate burial. I mean, and now the world is watching you answer questions about this. What does that feel like? I never want to know. It's difficult to try and even imagine, isn't it? It's like, take the thing that you felt the most ashamed of ever. The most embarrassed. Caught doing something shameful. Oh. You know. This is like that times a million.
We approach.
Counsel approach. Rephrase your questions.
Judge looks like a B&B owner, right? I think he was on an episode of Hotel Hell as a B&B owner. I mean, he does. If he checked me in and told me where to park, I'd be 100% comfortable.
Jessica Groves, the injuries that Dylan sustained happened on what date?
March 27th,
Dylan died on what date?
March 28th.
This is like a mental acuity test. She remembers the date, so she couldn't have been that fucked up on drugs. She was compos mentis. She had her wits about her. She knew where she was.
As she previously testified, Patricia Kraft said that she had looked at Dylan. Did she do anything else?
Objection. Leading.
Your Honor, did Patricia Kraft do anything else to examine
No.
Dylan? Where did you take Dylan after he died?
He was at our house for a couple days.
And then where did you take him?
To the well.
Did you murder Dylan Gross? Did you murder Dylan Gross?
Not intentionally.
Which is
No
an
further
admission.
questions,
She
Your
just said yes. I murdered him by accident.
Does the state wish to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, just a bit.
Subject to
Yeah,
being inquired.
please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't even know if we should blow this card right here on day one of the trial coverage. This is just too good to... Is it getting late? Should we take a break? Should we come back tomorrow? Should we do something soft for now? I don't know. This is more of a day 3. What do we want? Maybe we should have a... why don't we have a coffee break? Let's all go to buymeacoffee.com and hang out there. We'll do a live stream there for coffee members, for lifetime coffee members. How do you become one? You go to buymeacoffee.com, you click memberships, and then you become a lifetime True Crime Metrics coffee member and enjoy your very own free Metrics duffel bag. Imagine what you could put in that. Anything. Clothes, drugs. Not a dead baby. Please. God, that'd be terrible. Imagine finding out that one of my Metrics merch duffel bags had been used in a body disposal. In a true crime that I ended up covering on this channel. And then saw the bag. I mean, that'd ruin my life. I'd need therapy for years. Even more years.
Probably.
God, I don't know. Should we do it now? Let's do it. Look at it go.
Tell the jury how you killed this baby.
It was an accident.
Not your excuse. How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries?
Not your excuse.
I have and admitted.
Answer the question, please. How did you cause these injuries?
It was an accident.
Not your excuse for what happened. How did you cause these injuries? How did you cause those rib fractures?
By dropping him.
By dropping him.
Yeah.
How did you cause those?
I dropped him daily. You know, it was a whole routine. Wake up, brush your teeth, drop you on your head, lunch, meth, sleep, argue in the kitchen, break a plate, put the baby to bed, drop him on his head.
That first 2-inch skull fracture.
I don't remember.
How did you cause that 1-inch skull fracture?
It had to be from dropping him.
How did you cause that complete upper arm fracture?
Nothing that I ever did was intentional.
I'm not asking for your excuse. How did you cause that complete upper arm fracture? Tell the jury.
I have to live with this for the rest of my
Answer the question.
life.
How did you cause that
You
complete-
have devoured my family.
Ms. Rose?
You have devoured my family. She's prosecuting you for murdering your son and throwing him in a well.
You answer the questions that are asked of you.
She's not even 50, Michelle. Can you imagine? I mean, isn't this... I think that this is probably the most unappealing woman possible in all ways, in looks ways, personality ways, ethical ways, the whole bag, right? Just, you could not come up with something less desirable than this, could you?
You understand?
I've admitted to my guilt.
How did you
And I have to live without my children. I'm done talking to you.
You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand.
No.
Tell them how you caused that injury.
Do you think her attorney had a talk with her about the pros and cons of showing outright defiance to not just the prosecutor, but the entire justice system as a whole? I mean, I'm done talking to you. This is a trial, and you're subject to cross-examination, right?
Judge, I ask you to instruct the witness to answer the question.
Ms. Rose, by testifying, you're subject to cross-examination. You have to answer the questions on cross-examination that are relevant to these proceedings. This question is a relevant question. You will answer the question at this time.
The judge administers, what do you call it? Admonishes the witness like he's reading the weather, doesn't he? And not just the weather, but the shipping forecast. It's like from a lighthouse in Puget Sound. Oh, let's hear him again and just imagine he's saying 4 degrees north, clear.
Talking to you.
You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand. Tell them how you caused that injury. Judge, I ask you to instruct the witness to answer the question.
Ms. Rose, by testifying, you're subject to cross-examination. You have to answer the questions on cross-examination that are relevant to these proceedings. This question is a relevant question. You will answer the question at this time.
HMS Belfast thanks you for your service. Whoa, black eagles here. Look at that. Lobster in each hand.
And what is your answer to the last question? Ms. Hutchinson, step back for a minute.
She's having a breakdown for finally being in a position of not getting her own way. I mean, that's all this is, right? She couldn't shout down the prosecutor. And the judge said, well, you know, be careful in that boat. It's stormy out.
What is your answer to the last question? Counsel approach.
Do you think she wishes she didn't get on the stand? How's it going so far? Not good, huh? Yeah, well, you know, maybe after the break you'll come back swinging. Hey, while fuckhead's having a breakdown, why don't we all go and support the channel? Let's all go and support the channel on PayPal, and buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrics. That is the best way to support Metrics, to support all of our content and our future progress as we stride forth through the barricades of destiny.
I'll remind you of my earlier admonition to you to not discuss this case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Do not permit anyone to discuss it with you or in your presence. It is your duty not to form or express an opinion on this case until it is finally submitted to you. Ms. Groves, you should remain seated where you're at. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are excused at this time.
Mark E. Kuhn, with a thermostat above his head. Look at that. How perfect is that? Is that a thermostat or what is the word? Meteorology department standard. A meteorology department, barometer, that's the word. A barometer. He's never more than 3 feet away from a barometer. Nice to have the Great Seal of the state of Ohio played over a whimper from a murderer. So what do we do? Is there part 2? I want to see part 2.
If you need more privacy, we'll ask the spectators to leave. Mr. Stratton, during recess, I'm going to give you an opportunity to advise your client as the ramifications of failing to submit herself to cross-examination in this matter. If she does not do that, I am going to strike her testimony in order for the jury not to consider it. Do you understand?
I'd take that option. I mean, it's not like she said anything in the direct examination. Did you cause the injuries? Yes. No further questions. I mean, yes, strike from the record. That was no good either. That'd be the best case scenario right now. She's come in, she's cried. Get her out of here.
You can discuss it with her up there off the record. If you need more privacy, we'll ask the spectators to leave. I expect her to submit herself to cross-examination in this matter.
At this time, I ask that the spectators leave.
Would ask the spectators to leave the courtroom. Court is recessed.
Spectators are bummed. They were hoping to stay and watch this pig having a meltdown. I mean, that's a good day out in southern Ohio, right? Pig having a meltdown. I mean, that's they come from, statewide to see that at the county fair. Right now, they have it live at trial. Well, where's part 2? We just had part 2. This one.
Please be seated.
Please be seated, Deborah Rockhill. Take your seat. And who else is here? Michelle's back. Good to see you, Michelle. Listen to that stupid fake cry. Murdered her child and is acting like someone is doing her wrong. You've devoured my family. I can picture her demanding to speak to the manager. I know, right? They love to do that. And we're not talking about a manager. We're talking about the guy with a manager badge at Subway. Because she usually gets 3 pieces of fucked bacon on her steak melt. I don't even know what they're called. What are they called? I know there's a Subway melt. What's on that? Cheese, I guess. Right? Cheese and that stuff they have in there. It's not even meat, is it? What is it?
Back on the record, 19 CR 586 A and B, State of Ohio versus Daniel Groves and State of Ohio versus Jessica Groves. We were beginning the cross-examination of the defendant Jessica Groves in this matter. Ms. Hutchinson, you may inquire of the witness.
Tell the jury how you caused that complete upper arm fracture.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
You remember the day you said the injuries were caused on the 27th, and he died on the 28th, so you remember all that detail, but you don't remember how you caused that upper arm fracture.
No, I don't.
Tell the jury why you wrote on your calendar on April 24th, worst day ever when Daniel was taken, but there was no entry about the worst day ever when you killed that baby.
I didn't kill my baby.
You didn't?
An accident.
How did you cause those injuries?
I don't remember.
Then how do you remember it was an accident?
Because I would never hurt my children intentionally. Never.
How did you cause those injuries?
I don't remember. I done told you that. And the worst day ever, the day that I lost my last child. Both of my children.
Look at this photograph, Jessica Groves. How do you not remember that? Tell the jury how it's possible that you would not remember doing that, if in fact you did it. Ma'am, tell the jury how you would not remember that.
Because my mind wasn't clear.
Why?
Because of drugs.
Are you telling this jury that all of these injuries occurred at one time? In one incident?
No.
How many times did you attack baby Dylan?
I never attacked him.
What did you do? Like, swing him around the house, hitting every wall? I mean, one incident. Every one of his
kid back, man. That's my child, man. I want my kid, man.
Hey, Monica with the 5 coffees. Thank you so much, Monica. That is a great way to celebrate Metrics and to celebrate Saint Metrics Day, which is today. Yeah. By the way, I do think we ought to change Christmas Day to my birthday. Which, I might add, I found out that I have the very same birthday as Gloria Vanderbilt. Interesting. And all those other fucking creative legends of the 20th century. What is there? Me. And all of the others. All of the best ones. All born on that one great day.
Then how many accidents did you have, Jessica Groves?
I don't remember.
Tell them what the accidents were.
You keep asking me the same questions and
Because you're
never get
not
the same
answering the
answers.
question, ma'am.
I told you I don't remember.
I'm asking you the same question for each of the injuries on his body. And that question is, how did this injury happen? It's not our fault that there are so many injuries that we have to keep asking the question again, but they do apply to, different injuries that you caused.
When was it that your husband realized you were pregnant? Wait a minute. When was it you realized you were pregnant?
Probably when I was about 5.5 months.
Which was when? What month?
October.
When was it your husband knew you were pregnant?
Toward the end of October, beginning of November.
How is it your husband didn't know you were doped up the whole time you were pregnant?
Because I kept it a secret.
Why did you guys tell your son that a dream catcher hurt that baby?
Because it did.
Tell the jury about that. You said you didn't remember. Tell the jury what happened with that dream catcher.
I didn't think that dream catcher had injuries to that extent.
So that...
You didn't think the dream catcher had injuries? Okay. How long has she not been doing drugs for in jail? And she's still talking like that? I didn't think the dream catcher had any injuries. She even beat up the dream catcher and doesn't even remember doing it, right? Because of rage.
Accident didn't cause his death.
No.
Tell him what accident did.
I don't remember.
Why didn't you tell Jody Conkle there were all these accidents that killed my baby?
Because I was scared.
Of what?
Everything.
What's everything? You were scared of what?
The consequences of my actions. And one day meeting you at trial.
Of admitting the truth.
Well, tell the jury what the truth is. You didn't tell Detective Conkle what the truth was. You didn't tell your son what the truth was. Tell this jury what the truth is.
You know what this is? This is someone using a few little conceptual buzzwords from some version of addiction therapy that she's endured in jail, and now she's trying to use that to her advantage and getting it wrong. My mind wasn't clear because of drugs.
I don't remember it all.
Why didn't you tell your sister?
Yeah, here's a tip for everybody. Try and go into drugs already with a sharp brain. And then make it better, or try, but not too much. Right? And every so often, bring it back down to reality.
Mr. Stacy Hall what the truth was.
And then go back up, but not too high.
You told her this had nothing to do with drugs. I swear. Nothing, Stacy. I would tell you.
Me and Stacy did not grow up together. Me and Stacy has not had a lot of communication over my 40 years.
Ma'am, why didn't you tell Stacy the truth? That's the question.
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you?
I've never had any family support over
I'm
my
not asking about
40
your life history,
years.
ma'am. Why didn't you tell Stacy the truth?
Why would I?
Don't ask me questions.
Me and her's
Answer the
not
question.
that close. She is a half sister
Okay.
that we have never had that close relationship.
So you lied to her.
Yes, I did.
And you lied to your son.
They play the call that they're talking about where she's lying to her, is it half-sister? And it's so embarrassing. She's such a bad liar. She's like going, no, nothing to do with drugs. I mean, literally like that. I'm not embellishing. That's what she's doing. I'm telling you, nothing to do with drugs. Never. Seriously, that is what she sounds like. Kiwi, hello. This is in South Ohio.
Yes, I did.
And you lied to Detective Conkle.
Yes, I did.
But you want this jury to believe you just don't remember and you're not lying to them. Look at these ladies and gentlemen and tell them.
I want to see what you guys think of Detective Conkle as well, because to my mind, she kind of seems like, you know, she doesn't really feel like a detective. Even when you see her like in the role, in the interrogation room, she doesn't feel like a detective. What does she feel like? She feels like she should be selling a blender on TV. Or beach towels. You know, something easy, something that doesn't need a demo. Beach towels, play it safe, right? We gotta sell 5,000 of these babies in an hour. Go.
I can't tell you something that I can't remember.
Who wrapped this baby's body in 6 layers of plastic and duct tape? Who did that?
I did.
You did. Daniel Groves didn't help you with that?
Yes, he did.
Tell him what happened. Tell him about that concealment.
I wanted to be able to go back and get my baby.
Ma'am, I'm not asking you for comments. Tell the jury about the day you wrapped that baby in plastic. Tell them what happened.
I don't quite remember it all.
You don't remember that either.
I know it happened. I remember bits and pieces, but no, I don't remember. Because when he died, part of me died. And I've just been on autopilot.
Ma'am, look at this
since.
picture.
Yeah, the part of you died. The part of you that died was the part that is permitted to live out here among us, okay? And that's a good thing. We don't gotta worry about you no more. It's hard to kill a baby when you're in prison.
I don't...
Is exhibit number of the sentence?
45, Your Honor. Where did you get all this stuff to wrap baby Dylan in?
Outside, I guess.
You guessed. No, I'm asking you for real. Where'd you get all this stuff?
I sure didn't get it out from under the kitchen sink.
Are you going to answer the question?
Outside.
You don't remember this chain? Those 6 layers of plastic and duct tape? 3 padlocks, 12 zip ties, 8 wire ties, 18 rocks? You don't remember that?
Not in detail, no I don't.
That's not a whole heck of a lot of planning?
No.
Why would you do that if you didn't murder this baby on purpose?
Because I was scared.
Scared of what?
Losing everything.
Is that why you're in here telling this jury this story today?
Objection. She needs to allow her time to answer the questions.
She's not answering the question.
Overrule. Ms. Hutchinson, make sure you
over each.
Yeah, Michelle, good news. The not good news, the baby died, but the older child did live. He was taken away before he died. Good for him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ask your next question.
I want you to explain to the jury this process up here.
I can't
Why?
because I don't recall.
Who drove baby Dylan out to that well?
We both did.
Tell the jury how that happened and what you did.
We took him out to the well.
How'd you get?
You know what I was saying earlier about all lawyers loving to use any opportunity? Well, not any opportunity, but they love to use the phrase, I'll ask the questions here, right? Every lawyer loves to use that, but they can't use it too much, because if you use it too much, it loses its power, right? And it becomes cheap. The same goes for defendants and the phrase, I don't recall. They love that. They want that. It feels safe. But the more often you use it, the more frequently you use it, the less safe it becomes.
There.
On the four-wheeler?
And then what?
We put him in the well, then we sit in the field and cried.
Yeah, we sat in the well. No, what is it? We put him in the well, and then we sat in the field and cried. And then realized that we only had another 20 minutes to get to our dope dealer's house. So we got to move on.
Why is it that when we watch this video of you and your husband at the sheriff's office, there's not all this crying? I'm so worried about the dogs. Is that what you said?
I was in shock. I've been in shock. I've never got a chance to grieve the death of my baby.
Well, you didn't know him that long, so, you know.
I could have just a moment. Judge, I have additional questions, but I'm not going to ask them.
Ms. Hutchinson, Mr. Stratton, any redirect?
Just a second.
Well, this is good. Our lawyers are going to get up and do this come to Jesus moment, right? He's going to go, everything you're saying is the truth, right? You're coming clean. It's like, what is going on? That has no bearing on the weighing of justice here, right? She's not exactly coming clean if she's pleading not guilty, okay? Coming clean would be like, it was me, and I admit it was me, and I'm willing to face the consequences. That would be something, you know? It's amazing because as vile as this woman is, she's vile, she's so vile, people would respect that if it were genuine, right? And people would know if it were genuine, some people at least, would respect that. If she said, listen, I'm the worst person. I'm the worst person. There's no other way to say it. What I've done is the worst thing imaginable. And, you know, I deserve everything that you're going to give me. So give it to me, because I deserve it. And I'm really sorry. I don't even know if she'd say that at the end, but if she just said, yeah, it was me, that'd be at least something, right? Let's see what her lawyer has to say here.
Yes.
You may inquire.
Jessica? Everything you're saying today is the truth.
Yes.
You're finally coming clean, correct?
Yes, I am.
Nature of the objection.
He's leading the witness again.
Rephrase your question, Mr. Stratton.
Is there anything that the prosecutor has said you did not do?
I did not kill my baby intentionally.
No further questions.
That was the wrong answer. She should have just said, what was the question? Is there anything the prosecutor has said that you did not do? The answer should have been no. There is nothing the prosecutor has said that I did not do, but she just couldn't resist the urge to alienate every single member of the jury again by saying, yeah, but it wasn't intentional, I didn't mean to do it, so it's not murder and I should go free. But I'm coming clean. Free clean.
Thank you, Mr. Stratton. Ms. Scott, any cross-examination?
And I want to sign up for the same course that woman took, faster to adopt. I don't think I'll find anyone to impregnate me anytime soon, so I'm going to foster to adopt.
Good question.
Ms. Groves, I know that you're claiming that you don't remember a lot of the details in this situation. However, do you recall whether or not Daniel Groves participated in the actions that caused Dylan's death?
No, he did not.
Okay. Did he in any way cause Dylan's death?
No.
Did the dream catcher falling on the baby cause some bruising on Dylan's head?
Slightly.
Okay. Is that what we heard Daniel Jr. testify?
Slightly. Just slightly. You know, slightly. A bit. What? Like 45%. Okay, 55% of his head was bruised. Slightly.
To yesterday.
Yes.
Was there a laceration as a result of that bruising?
No.
Yeah.
Did that result in his death in any way?
Yeah, we checked him. No red marks. No red marks. We checked his whole body. All we could see is black and blue.
No.
Originally, you were scared of admitting the truth, correct?
Yes.
You're admitting to that truth during the course of this trial?
Yes, I am.
And the truth includes that Daniel Groves did not participate in Dylan's death, correct?
Correct.
You lied.
You see, they have this really, both defense attorneys seem to have this really strange view of what a trial might be there to do. And their view seems to be that if you come in to trial saying you're not guilty of the crimes that the state claims against you, claims that you did, but admit it while at trial, that the jury will say, Well, she admitted what she did, so that's probably enough. I mean, it's like, how did they think that was going to work? I mean, I guess the only thing was just let's see if we can get Daniel the least amount of time possible, because there's no way on earth that Jessica Groves was coming out of here, was ever getting out of jail, right? No parole. Fucking probably just should have had the death penalty, and not even a nice death penalty. Just fucking feed her to some wild dogs, you know, and then throw her down a well, right? A deep one.
Many people in this case, correct?
Yes, I have.
Ms. Hutchinson asked you if you lied to your sister. You did.
Yes.
Ms. Hutchinson asked if you lied to your son. You did.
Yes.
Did you also lie to your husband?
Yes.
Oh, Maria Gabriel needs an update. What did this piece of trash do? Well, she did meth and, well, she just a load of drugs. Just an angry druggie that, you know, hates everybody and shouts at everybody and complains about everybody all day, and then, you know, has a baby, and the baby's hooked on drugs, so it's crying all the time because it's uncomfortable. So she beats the kid to shut it up, right? Just beats the kid. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shakes the kid. Shut up! I'm angry and on drugs! Ah! You know, this kind of thing. Daniel's there. He's on drugs too. Doesn't, you know, say anything, or just watches him beat the kid to death, really. The child was taken out of their care, put into a beautiful opportunity of a foster home, a foster to adopt home, with Miss Honey, Matilda's teacher, the most angelic of all foster to adopt mothers, who had a whole community rallied around her, donating cribs, and nice ones, clean ones, good ones, church ones, right? Good community. And then the social services, oh, you know what? We're going to rehouse baby Dylan with the birth parents. Yeah, those fuckheads. Those abusive, angry... Well, he just seemed kind of quiet, to be honest, but she was definitely just this angry bitch. Yeah, that's pretty much... Oh, and then they... To dispose of the body, they wrapped up the baby in like this huge, elaborate, weighed down 2 milk crates chained together with a heavy chain, and then stones inside, body wrapped in plastic, and then threw it down this 40-foot well in the middle of a field. So it took the firemen like some real lot of work and skill and luck as well to get that baby hooked and pull it up. And they're all scarred horribly for life. That's another thing that's kind of touching about this trial, is that the people that come in, the rescue workers, brave men and, you know, strong men, and they're all broken and fucked, but still here to do their duty, right? Just, you know, to say what happened, but you can just tell that they're completely freaked out and changed forever, you know, and united in enduring something that's thankfully so few will ever have to know what it's like to be unified with people, with other human beings in that way, based on shock, grief, sadness. Is that the same as grief? I think they're different. I'll have to check the dictionary. So that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, then they were arrested by a robot. She came out of the house. The cops surrounded the house, guns drawn, come out of the house, we're surrounded, you're surrounded. And then she came out belligerent, shouting at the cops, fuck you, there is no baby. And Daniel was just hiding in the house. They sent in the robot. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You can't negotiate with a robot. Surrender. Checkmate. That's pretty much it. And then they came into trial. I guess the hope was that Daniel would get the least amount of time. We already just said this a few minutes ago, didn't we? Yeah, okay. So let's move on.
You're trying to set the record straight through this trial, correct?
Yes, I am.
The only part that Daniel Groves participated in was helping you to dispose of Dylan's body and place his body in the well after he was deceased, correct?
Yep.
He was not aware of any of your actions that caused baby Dylan to pass away, correct?
No, he was not.
Did he help you hide those actions?
Yes.
But only by disposing of the body after Dylan had already passed away, correct?
Yes.
You both took great care to wrap his body in plastic?
Yes, we did.
And that was for the purpose of maybe retrieving his body at a later time, correct?
Yes.
Guillotine and oversized dream catch. Now you've got me thinking that it was an actual, tactic used by the Indian braves. Scalping and dream catcher attack.
Did Daniel in any way, or Daniel did not in any way,
The little bighorn. Maybe history got it wrong.
know of any of your activity that caused a skull fracture that had healed on a prior occasion, did he?
No, he did not.
When that injury occurred, there was no outward sign.
No, none of my other children have skull fractures that have been reported or resulted in death, luckily.
Signs of a cut, was there?
No, there was not.
In regards to the rib fractures that he received that we heard about that were healing, were there any outward signs that Daniel would have been aware of to show that that injury had happened?
No, there was not.
Okay. And it is correct that baby Dylan passed away on March the 28th?
Correct.
You and you alone were the one that caused the death of the baby Dylan?
Yes, I was.
There was nothing that Daniel did that caused his death, correct?
Correct.
There was nothing that he did that hid your actions other than helping you to assist him or assist you in hiding the baby after he had passed away, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Any recross by the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, she's back again.
Slip number, Ms. Scott, or Ms. Hutchinson?
59, Your Honor. You just told this jury that your husband didn't know about these injuries.
No, he did not.
But your 15-year-old son did?
No, he did not.
So your 15-year-old son lied in here yesterday when he said this whole baby's head where his hair would be was black and bruised? Look at the jury. Are you calling your son a liar?
No, he's not.
Your Honor, I would object. I do not believe that that was a characterization or the nature of the testimony yesterday.
How is it that your son saw this baby's head swollen and black, but your husband didn't? Look at the jury. Explain that to them.
I can't explain that to him because
what?
I don't know.
You don't know. You seem to know a lot of answers to Ms. Scott's question. Answer the question to the jury. How did your 15-year-old son see these injuries, know about them, but your husband didn't? Ms. Groves.
I don't know.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson. Ma'am, you may step down. Have a seat at council table. Mr. Stratton, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense rests.
Defendant Jessica Groves has rested their presentation of evidence.
Yeah, and as she rests her face into the desk. At this time, the defense collapses. Just like my client's character.
Ms. Scott, are you ready to proceed with your presentation?
I am, Your Honor.
You may call your first.
There's Detective, what was it? Conklin. Detective Conklin there, look, selling beach towels. Can't wait to see her. Maybe we'll have a look at her tomorrow. Or the interrogation. It's very good. They actually bring them both into the room at the same time and they talk to each other about what they're going to do. It's quite funny. Thinking that they can't be heard. Hilarious. Yeah, so I guess...
Witness.
Your Honor, at this time I would call Daniel Groves to the stand.
Oh, so they're all done. They're all done. Oh, look, there's our thumbnail. That looks quite good. Simple, elegant, beautiful. We are the best. If you would like to support the best, go to buymeacoffee.com and buy the best coffee on Metrics, or the best PayPal on Metrics, paypal.me/True Crime Metrics. Support the shit out of this. Choose us. Choose the future. And choose... man, you know, I wish I had something sweet. Maybe there's an orange in the fridge. Will there be an orange in the fridge? Tune in tomorrow night to find out for sure. I'll give a full report. Thank you for coming. It's been so nice. It's been so nice to go through this case with you all. And, you know, I've been looking at it for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 long, horrible weeks. And now you're all here as well, so that's great. Definitely a plus. Big plus. We appreciate it. So thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for super chatting. Thank you for super sticker giving. Thank you for super coffee go getting and super bulletproof metrics moderating. I've been True Crime Metrics. Thank you. Good night.